Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. I'm Rob.
I'm Mel.
And we're here to play some more Lord of the Rings.
I didn't know if you were pausing for me to say.
The living card game.
Oh, that's funny.
Again, another Thursday. Another run through the dangers of the Lord of the Rings world. Yay. Middle-earth trying to kill us, of course. And we're here to try to get out alive. So we've made it to the end. This is the final episode, we hope. Well, I mean, we hope, yes. Yes, we do hope. Because I want to play some different games. But we are here. The last scenario of the Saga box. The Battle of the Five Armies. We've made it. We made it here. Hello, everybody joining.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in. Special shout out, of course, to our YouTube members and our Patreons. Thank you for supporting the channel, allowing us to purchase expansions like these and play them for you on the channel, and repurchase expansions and starter decks and revised core sets and all these kind of things. Thank you so much for your support and helping the channel grow. Thank you. All right. We still haven't got our Lord of the Rings starter decks. They still haven't arrived in Canada. I don't know what's happened, but if you saw the channel earlier this week, the Sinister Motives expansion, the campaign expansion for the sister game of this, the Marvel Champions living card game, that arrived here earlier than even expected, than the earlier Canadian date that I was told at the start of the month. I was originally told March 11th for the starter decks in Canada from somebody I know that, you know, sees the Asmodee Canada side of things. And then March 25th, which is tomorrow. March 25th, Canada was supposed to be Asmodee Canada's release of the Sinister Motives box, but I literally got an email about that a couple days ago saying it was out. It's available in Canada, and I see it in stock at some stores already. So I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know if the starter decks are just... Yeah, like I'm telling you, man, I don't know if it was something in the past from the whole trucker rallies or something, but maybe one of those trucks I saw on the news that was protesting in Ottawa, I think it had our Lord of the Rings starter decks in the back. And it may be like in, RCMP or OPP, lockup yard or something, like impound lot, sitting there. And Asmodee is like, can we get our cards back? And the police are like, nope, still doing our investigation. Oh, okay, Orbit says, Orbit, I think I saw you post that on Reddit, actually.
I've heard this too, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was you that I saw. I saw someone with Orbit in their username on Reddit say something about them saying their LCG, or FLGS said that there was some paperwork issues at the border, and they're kind of holding it for now. But that's kind of weird, but, I mean... This isn't the first time Asmodee's tried to sell a product in Canada. Like, they've been doing it for...
Yeah, you think they'd have a process.
I don't know, since like the 2000s. You know what I mean? Like, the 90s. I don't even know when they started selling stuff in Canada, but someone screwed up. Someone screwed up. Yeah, there was one thing. There was one thing. And I've been meaning to talk about it. It's just related to Fantasy Flight Games. Usually we save it for our Arkham Horror LCG Weekly, or Lord of the Rings Weekly, or Marvel Champions Weekly. It's just fun to sometimes chat at the beginning of the stream about, like, what's going on with FFG? Like, what are they announcing lately for this game or other games, or the funny stuff of them not posting manuals online, and release dates all over the place, and repackaging content, and what happened to the company. They're not the same as they used to be. All this kind of stuff. But yeah, there was something cool that was shared in a Keyforge group that I'm in. It's a Reddit post from like a year ago. Not relevant anymore, but let's see if I can find it. I'm sure this is not new news to anybody. But I was going to talk about this. I'll talk about this a little more on my Rob's Cafe coffee crowdfunding conversation chat stuff tomorrow in the stream. We'll like go into a little more because I'm sure there'll be other fans there of Fantasy Flight Games and stuff, but I saved it somewhere, but it relates to this game too, is why I wanted to bring it up just for fun, just something to chat before we get into it. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this kind of stuff too, if anyone knows anything. Let's see if I can get it on the screen for you guys here. So we always make jokes anytime we're playing a Fantasy Flight game, I always get funny comments about how like I rip on the company all the time, just make jokes. I'm not trying to be too serious. Sometimes I'm like, I say somebody should be fired for what they have done. But I'm really joking. You guys know they're my favorite publisher, and I love somebody always jokes like, man, this guy rips on Fantasy Flight Games for all this stuff, and he's playing every single one of their games on his channel. It's like, I'm being a sarcastic ass. You guys should know this by now.
People that are new don't know.
I know, they don't realize. They don't realize I'm just joking around most of the time, but like, it's because I'm a very passionate fan of the company. They're the reason, the quality games they've made in the past. Mr. Christian Peterson is the reason. Him finding George R.R. Martin's books in the like early 2000s and deciding to take that IP and try to come up with a board game and bring these kind of crazy games that didn't exist, not the type of games that weren't on the Walmart shelf or the Toys R Us shelf or whatever, to make these cool games that with themes and whatever of things that I loved. And I would have never gotten the hobby without Game of Thrones, the living card game, Game of Thrones, the board game 2nd edition, these other Fantasy Flight properties that I'm still going through. And it's funny, I'm getting comments lately like, wow, you're playing Lord of the Rings and Star Wars Imperial Assault? Like, they think I've just started Lord of the Rings. That's one thing. That's incorrect. Been playing that for like 10 years, but on and off, obviously with a 7-year break in there, but Imperial Assault, just getting into it now, and that's older, right? That's from like 2014 or something. It's because they make so many great lifestyle games, so many huge, rich worlds and expansions, all this stuff. I couldn't play it all in the past. I'm still playing catch up, but we have time to catch up now because it's not the same Fantasy Flight games it used to be. So it was funny to see something posted. This is an old Reddit post from like a year ago when people were like, what has happened to this company? Like, you watch their Gen Con press conferences. We do our stream from, about FFG's Gen Con press conference every year, and we're always like, oh, that's it? Like, it's gotten less and less over the years, right?
Yep.
But that's because they changed ownership. And we know all about this. Like, I've been through this, working for companies in the past who get bought out by investment firms or foreign firms and whatever. And they just want to trim the fat, let go of a bunch of people, focus on what the company does best, and try to make mad profit for their investors. Like, and that's what happened to Asmodee. So Asmodee, started like trying to take board gaming serious, bought up a bunch of publishers, tried to do like what video game publishers do, try to have like worldwide release dates, consolidate their marketing, have all the studios support each other to make better products, to elevate the game industry. I truly believe they were trying to do that originally. But then there was a point where that became a nice lucrative thing that some firms wanted to buy, investment companies wanted to buy them up and then trim the fat and make profit. And that's basically what happened. Asmodee has now been repurchased by some different company that they might go back to the older FFG a little bit because of the new company that owns them, maybe. But this is from a year ago, previous owners. But there was a post in here from a former employee.
I saw this, but I didn't read it. I meant to go back.
Yeah, where is this? And I just thought it was funny because it makes sense related to the Lord of the Rings LCG repackaging of products, the Arkham Horror repackaging of products, the retheming of old games, slapping new IPs on them. They keep doing this over and over again. Over the last like 5-6 years, they started doing that. They ended a whole bunch of product lines, and obviously stuff got moved to other publishers. But that's part of
it's that one.
There it is, right there.
Yeah.
So this one right here. So I'm gonna go through this more in depth tomorrow during the stream. But I just thought it was funny. Some people who are fans of this game or new to this game and wondering like what FFG is doing and the motivation behind even the project of repackaging. You would think it's like the Amazon show coming up is obviously partly the reason why. But the reason why they don't make new product for this game and why they're not rebooting it and coming out with a Lord of the Rings 2nd edition or trying something brand new with this LCG and why they're just sticking with the old. We had a former employee here 9 months ago. Former employee here, the real issue is PAI Investments. So this is the company that I think just sold Asmodee to Embracer Group, the company that owns a bunch of video game studios and stuff that's trying to expand into board gaming. The holding company that owns Asmodee and all studios underneath Asmodee umbrella. Asmodee got the funding to purchase FFG from Eurazeo sometime in 2014. Eurazeo then held the holding for a few years and sold it to PAI in 2018 for around 1.2 billion. This is all public info, and you could read many articles online. PAI began cutting the fat, so to speak. I've been through this. I worked in an IT department of 70, I think it was like 77 people, and I was one of 3 employees to survive a mass termination in the whole company. But I was one of the IT department, one of 3 people that didn't get the tap on the shoulder.
That was a scary time, eh?
It was very scary. As I'm sitting there that day and watching one by one HR march employees down and never coming back, all beside me, all these people I worked with for years and years and years. People I looked up to as like my second parents, like friends, people I bonded with for like 10 years were all just getting plucked and gone because we had a new owner, and it was time to cut the fat. And I narrowly squeaked through there and lasted a couple more years before I realized it was a completely different company, and they were trying to get all my knowledge and then find someone cheaper from another country to do what I do. And we're like, it's your turn to go. And I said, cool. And they said, we can place you at a different company. I said, no, I kind of don't want to be part of anything you guys have done. You kind of ruined this cool place that it used to be. And you basically killed the excitement I used to have coming to that job and the people I loved working with there. It became a shell of what it used to be, which is funny because people say that about Fantasy Flight Games, and have kind of said it's not the company it used to be. And I can relate to that because I've been through that exact same thing. I'm sure many of you who work in like, you know, the corporate world have seen this kind of stuff before. But anyways, they combined studios. Wind Rider was killed, and that staff became Z-Man Games. And we know Z-Man Games was put into the same building as Fantasy Flight Games. They have the same address. You can look it up. It's the same exact little plaza. Many employees were laid off in favor of saving money. Events department didn't bring in any money, so events department went away for the most part. Along with that, new work on IPs kind of came to a standstill. So just imagine the new games that they were working on. Like, you know, Fantasy Flight Games has come up with these crazy games back in the 2000s, early 2010s. Some of the great games that we played to this day, right? They've reskinned a few of them, but like, just imagine the new ones they were working on at that when they get purchased and then they're told stop everything. You know, when a new company buys another company, they instantly are like, stop spending. Don't buy office supplies, don't buy anything, don't spend any money, stop. And that's probably what they were told to do. Stop the R&D. Don't do anything. We're going to come in and see what makes money, and we're going to cut everything that is even a chance of not making money and focus on the core principles of the brand, right? So Battlestar Galactica became unfathomable because it's just a reworking. You can get intern Joe Blow to take Battlestar Galactica and reskin it. Yeah, you need to get some art done and all that kind of stuff, but that's all contract work, right? Elder Sign became X-Men Mutant Insurrection, so they had the Marvel license. Instead of trying to design a whole new Marvel board game, they went the cheap route of less effort. Just take the same design, rework it, package it up, get it out. Let's make some money.
They will buy it.
Little effort, maximizing profits. And that's just 2 examples. But then we see the repackaging of the Arkham Horror Box. We see the LOTR, LCG repackaging. He's sticking in a few campaign cards into the boxes, now trying to repackage them and sell them again. But all that's very minimal work. Like, it's very little effort. They don't need to sit in a meeting room with 20 people trying to cook up how they're going to stick a campaign in, you know, the is it Agmar Awakened cycle? You know what I mean? That's just like one dude rifles that out in like an afternoon. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. That's not what happens. But it's like, let me see what I can come up with before lunch. I need to come up with 6 cards, some treasures, slap them in the box, repackage it. We're good to go. No new art.
Maybe a boon if we're lucky.
Yeah. But it's all repackaging art and everything, same templating, all that stuff. So I used to think some of this was related to the whole, and I'm sure some of it is, what's happening now with Fantasy Flight Games is related to the whole, the security breach they had where somebody clicked on one of those emails or pop-ups that ended up encrypting their whole network and taking their network hostage. And once it's encrypted, there's no decrypting it at all. That's all a scam. So They lost all their Keyforge algorithms. They couldn't print new decks. I'm sure they've lost tons of other stuff. The funny thing is, the starter decks, this is where I saw a sign of this, because I know this happens being in IT. They obviously lost data because there are typos on the starter decks where they've reverted back to old text, or there's new typos and misprints all over those starter deck cards. And you would think, how does that happen when they've errated these cards over 10 years and have new perfect versions they've packaged in the latest products? And then they go and repackage it, and all of a sudden it's like they're now new typos and things we've never seen before on these cards. That just is a red flag that they obviously lost that data. And they probably went on websites, had an intern sitting there on RingsDB retyping out the cards and trying to get the template and like trying to make those cards from scratch. And this is probably why it's taken so long to hear about the Agmar Awaken cycle too, because they probably lost data. So it's sad what's happened to this company. Do you not think
they would say if that was the case?
No,
or they'd be too
that's embarrassing, man.
Yeah.
That's super sad. But it's obviously what happened.
If you were honest with people, they would understand more than...
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyways, so it says FFG is just a nameplate to PAI. So it's just it's just a brand now. They know that if a game gets the FFG name printed on it, it will just sell. So expect more reskins in the future.
Okay.
We know this. Which is why every Gen Con announcement stream, there's like really nothing new, kind of. That's why, and they even mention like most of the veteran staff were either let go or have resigned. Last I heard, the interactive department, who makes the apps for games like Mansion of Madness, Journeys of Middle-earth, are down to just 2 people, which is why they take forever to fix bugs.
Yep.
And I was told that after I left, the guy who did all the video stuff, yes, it's just one guy, and I think it was Ryan. I think that's who they're talking about. Recently quit, and that's sad. That guy,
that guy was great.
When he left, you can tell. Like I was making jokes. The janitor has to clean the office, but also run the live streams and make the videos.
It seems like it's true.
It's
like
true.
They don't have a replacement for him.
Yeah,
and he was the guy.
That's what happens during restructuring. They just let people go who make a lot of money and been there for a long time, and then they go, does anyone know how to kind of do this job?
Do you know how to turn a camera on?
Yeah.
Okay, you come here and turn this camera on and stand behind it and make sure they can see us.
So is it all Asmodee's fault? Not as much as people think. Asmodee really just ships games and takes part of the profit from the studios for that service. They have no idea what they're doing, but for the most part, leave the studios alone. Yeah, they're just a distribution company mainly, right? Management and distribution. If you're going to blame anyone, blame the investment companies. They are the ones calling the shots at the high level. FFG pitches something to Asmodee. Asmodee pitches it to PAI. Discussions are had about how much money it will make, and if it's not enough, the pitch is thrown away. FFG is the worker. Asmodee is the crappy middle manager, and PAI is the money-hungry boss. So this is like 9 months ago, but is already out of date because of them being repurchased by a new company, right? A whole new management company that hopefully will let them make more new things. So you might think that you're like, wait, Rob, they made new games. You played some of them. So like Descent Legends in the Dark, we played through that. It's really just they're taking the same app development they've already done. And they've taken the same Descent game they've already done. They mash them together. They pump it out. They're working on another one. Those are new games. They are new games, don't get me wrong. But they're not taking risks, right? They're still staying safe. They're taking what they've made money with before. And if you don't think Descent 2nd Edition made that company a lot of money, oh, it did. I'm sure it did.
That was also, though, in the process before all of this, right?
No.
When did they start making Descent? Because we got it in August. So it would have had to have been...
I know, but you have to understand, like, when they started restructuring to sell them to the investment firm, that is like a planned thing. Like I've been through that. Like literally like a year to 2 years before a company sells, they start already reorganizing things,
for it.
Cutting people, writing down what people do, going through like meetings, trying to figure out like
who's important,
who does what, and get it all nice and clean so they can present it to buyers. And that's what happened. So the stuff of trimming the fat and all that kind of stuff was happening probably even before they were purchased, and even by the previous company, and then previous to that for that sale, right?
Yeah.
So we saw it, and like we saw lots of people have left that company. But it's funny, this is why we're just getting like, Lord of the Rings repackaged is where I'm going with this. So it's interesting. It's interesting. But we always get the comments, like I get comments on these videos for Lord of the Rings, Arkham Horror, Marvel Champions, Imperial Assault, Descent, all these FFG games. And I always get comments about how it's sad to see where the company's become. And I do totally understand the whole idea of you put FFG on the box, people are interested. I'm trained. If it has FFG on the box, doesn't mean it's going to be a great game, but it's probably quality because most stuff they've done is quality. Not everything. Definitely not everything. That Undiscovered or whatever, Lands Unknown, anyone see that in their bargain bin? That game just... But yeah, they've made a few games that are like whatever. But it's interesting, and I saw that like 2 nights ago, and I was like, oh yeah, that's more behind the scenes, like kind of, that's what I thought was kind of happening before. And everyone's getting mad that they were ending all these product lines, and now they don't do anything risky. That's why it was such a big deal when they announced the Star Wars Outer Rim Unfinished Business, which they posted an article for that today. I'll talk more about that in tomorrow's Rob's Cafe stream. But that's like a new thing and a new expansion. Like, that's kind of rare. Like, it's still for a game they already have, but it's like, it's as new as we get, I think. Mm-hmm. Unless Outer Rim was like a repackage of something else I'm not thinking about. But yeah, so it's like, I hope it does well. Yep. I hope people support these new things they do. And I hope they're allowed to do more new things again going forward, and do some of the cool things. I know it's not all the same people there, but there are still some of the people there that have come up with some of these awesome games that we play. I assume they're still there. But yeah, so I don't know. What do you guys think? Adam says, hey, speaking of FFG games, I've been considering either Mansions or Descent. Curious if you two have a preference. Both good experiences? Does the newer app help Descent or hinder Mansions? Both, Adam, both those games are super solid. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Mansions, I love. It has a ton of content out there. It is popular for a reason. It created this whole genre of these app-driven games by Fantasy Flight Games, is why they keep making them and why they feel those are a safe bet, because it's quality. Yeah, the miniatures suck in the game, but overall, I still love Mansion of Madness. It's an awesome dungeon crawler. I love how it's got the horror theme. Definitely gives it Arkham horror vibes. I think it is my favorite still. I'm pretty sure my favorite Arkham-themed game. It's the one that got me to even try Arkham 3rd Edition, Arkham LCG. That was really the game that showed me this Arkham lore and got me into it. From the fantasy dungeon crawler kind of fantasy adventure game background I kind of had, it was cool to see. And that also got me into the whole like app-driven board game idea, that when they announced Lord of the Rings Journeys to Middle-earth, I was like, Lord of the Rings? You're going to use that same kind of thing, but make it more of an adventure game versus dungeon crawling? I'm in. Mm-hmm. And then Descent, I already knew I kind of liked the dungeon crawling fantasy idea of Descent. I just didn't really like 2nd edition that much. But when they're telling me they're going to stick an app version with that from the ground up, add all these new things we've been bitching about getting in Mansion of Madness and Lord of the Rings, it's just you go with whichever one fits whatever you like, your theme, right? Yep. But the app is fine in all of them. Even though they did new stuff in Descent, some of it's experimental, some of it doesn't please everybody. I think it's very neat what they did. Obviously, people liked it enough. They're making more Descent. We should have another one soon, I would assume. Ooh. They're doing a trilogy, I think.
Yeah, hopefully they don't stop.
And the fact they didn't cancel that shows me that, like, okay, like that is something that there's a vocal minority that were really hating on that game. But I'm glad sometimes the vocal minority, you know, they don't talk with their wallets, because even some of those vocal minority were the ones who bought the game and buy those kind of games. So they're obviously keeping going with it, and that's good. So that shows that they're like, that game made it through the chopping block. So you go with whichever one, Adam. If you like, you know, you want dungeon crawling, you like the fantasy dungeon crawling stuff, Descent's cool. And Mansion of Madness, if you like horror, like it to be more on the difficult side. Both are difficult, actually. But they all have levels of difficulty, right? Mm-hmm. Not Mansion of Madness, though, actually. Lord of the Rings does. Descent does. Well, I think
Mansion of Madness doesn't have levels of difficulty, but they just tell you what the difficulty is of the scenario, and you can choose to play it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Adam, like, whichever one hits you the most, like if you love Arkham horror theme stuff, start with Descent, or with Mansions of Madness. Woo! But yeah, if you like the fantasy stuff, you like classic dungeon crawl stuff, and want to try it with an app involved, then take a look at Descent. And they're both pretty pricey entries. So like Mansions is probably a cheaper core box, I think, to get into, but if you end up liking it, you'll spend way more money on that, because there's a lot of expansions for Mansion of Madness 2nd Edition and DLC content and stuff. We don't have that for Descent Legends of the Dark yet, which I'm surprised we don't have a DLC.
Because didn't they say they were going to do big box, DLC, second box,
I think
DLC.
So, yeah.
So maybe they'll announce that at Gen Con.
Yeah, we'll get some announcements on that soon, I think. But yeah, so things are looking good. They're teasing things. They're talking about Descent continuing. So it's not like you're just going to buy that system and it's going to end. So if you're worried about buying into it and ending. And Mansions, they've already done everything for it. They said they're done with that game. So yeah, we'll see.
Let us know what you choose. Both are great. You're going to have fun with both.
Yeah, it's an expansion, right, Daniel? It's an expansion. That's what Mel's talking about, right? I'm confused. I remember they announced they're doing...
But it's like a small box or something.
Yeah, I remember they announced doing like 3 big boxes.
3 big boxes, and I think an expansion to go with each one.
But hopefully it's not just the expansion now and they're not doing the next big boxes.
Well, they have to show off what that big mini is.
Is that big mini from the next big box or was it from the expansion?
From the next big box, I want to say.
Oh, okay. I can't remember.
Yeah, I want to say that's from the next big box.
I just want to play it.
I know.
I don't really care about a lot.
Give me more. Yeah, I want more.
Like I got too many games. I'm like they're coming down the pipe that I'm just like I can't keep everything straight. But
yep.
Yeah. Velko says, Rob, how did you find the mental courage to do what you truly love, board gaming, instead of what you had to do? No, I loved IT. I loved IT. Don't get me wrong.
Not every day, probably, though, right?
No, it eventually, like, yeah, eventually the company I worked for turned into being sucky. And then the next company I worked for had some cool things, but just wasn't the area of IT I really wanted to work in. But yeah, obviously I love technology. And I didn't leave the information technology. I literally use those skills every single, I'm using them right now to figure out and run these streams and get the equipment, build the computers, all that stuff. I still am dipping in IT every single day, using skills I learned on the job to kind of like do these streams. So I haven't left that behind at all. I just kind of took what I learned and learned more to do the streaming and then mashed it with the board gaming to share my hobby, which has now become my job. But yeah, I don't know. Mental courage. I have right here is my mental courage. She was the one that helped me.
That's sweet. Thank you.
Yeah. So.
Well, it was team effort.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Yeah.
But your help definitely helped me.
I just supported him and wanted to try. And if it didn't work, then it didn't work. But it definitely has worked.
I laid out many ideas and yeah, she helped with a second set of eyes and helped with some input and stuff. So yeah.
And it's been fun.
Yeah, I guess.
It's fun for me.
I'm just kidding.
That's funny.
Yeah, Locator says the problem with VC and investment fund models is they cut and consolidate to get a certain margin to resell to another VC or fund that does the same thing, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
But I think the company they're with now, I don't think that's what they do, but maybe they do. I hope not.
How long have they been with this new company? Do you remember when that?
That was only like a few months back.
Oh, okay. So not enough yet.
I don't even know when it's all finalized and stuff. That's the other thing. Things have to get finalized.
Yeah.
Like it's a slow moving thing. So like we're not going to see if the new company that owns Fantasy Flight is changing anything. We're not going to see that for like a year, 2, 3 years from now, because we're just seeing products that were like in the design kind of idea phase like years back when that was happening.
Right.
So this employee talking from 9 months ago who maybe worked there a year ago, you know, they were there when some of these things were happening and just getting started. So we're still seeing that. It's like a very long process, right? So
yeah.
It's like video game development too. You see that where they're like, you know, someone gets purchased and you're like, oh man, they announced the game. And then 6 years later, you finally get the game. And it's like, oh yeah, that does take a while. And being purchased and sold and restructured totally slows that down and does not speed it up. ME says their current licenses must be expensive. Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and Marvel. But they'll at least bring in sales, and cutting those would hurt sales. They'll cut everything else so short term. You have to remember Asmodee, also with some of their other properties, is using the Marvel license, Star Wars, you know, Lord of the Rings, I don't know, but because remember they own like a book publishing. They publish books in these universes too. They have the miniature line, Atomic Mass. making Marvel Crisis Protocol. So they have these licenses, Asmodee does, and has all these studios that are all putting that money to work. So if you think it's just FFG holding that license, it's not the case. It's Asmodee and all their brands, all the company that owns Asmodee, this investment firm, like they're making money with that in previous sales, like reruns of FFG product they keep printing. Like we're buying Star Wars Imperial Assault that keeps restocking. There's still expansions coming to stores. They announced that game was done like a couple of years ago. But they're still printing it. They're still making money. It still sells. So, you know, they don't, you know, yeah, I don't know how that works with the IP stuff. Obviously, my understanding is you get approval for the IP, and as long as you're making money with it and sending money back to them for every, you know, giving them their cut, they're all good. Like they don't care. It's not like, you know, they probably renegotiate it later, but as long as Asmodee is printing books and cards and RPGs and miniature war games and board games and card games and party games and whatever using these licenses, yeah, they're gonna keep them and keep making them, right? So yeah, it's not Fantasy Flight Games anymore. Don't think that's how that works. Fantasy Flight Games is just one studio under a giant umbrella. So yeah, like FFG doesn't have a legal department anymore. It doesn't have an HR department, I'm sure. Doesn't have a marketing department. All that stuff's handled by, like, when you consolidate a company, you don't have like every company has their own legal department, all that stuff. That's the first thing you do is like take those kind of service departments and then, you know, consolidate them at the parent company, and they handle kind of it for everybody. So yeah, so it's interesting, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes forward. But it's interesting, like what they're doing. It is very interesting. Yeah, it just relates to like what we're seeing with the Lord of the Rings. Like we're just going to see repackaging. Maybe I was talking about seeing a new board game this year would be pretty cool to kind of align with the show, but I don't think that's the same. I don't think that's that thing that's going to happen after I read stuff like that.
I don't think we'll see it this year, but it could be something that they announce they're working on.
Maybe.
Because what else are they going to have for Gen Con?
Well, I remember the days back when the first, like the new Star Wars trilogy was happening, and FFG actually had like that starter set ready and all this stuff when it launched, and were part of that initial wave of merchandise and all that. So they had some behind the scenes kind of agreements with it. Too bad that kind of stuff didn't happen for more things, right? Where like that Amazon show drops and there's FFG with like a new, you know, maybe a new LCG, like a little contained LCG, like they did with the HBO. Remember that HBO version of Game of Thrones, the card game? Like that kind of idea, or, you know, a contained board game would be kind of cool, but based in the timeline of the show, if they were like working with, you know, them on the background, in the background would be cool, but I don't think so. We'll see.
I don't think so, but
we will see. I see Dan answered the question from Velco. I didn't even notice that. Number one reason equals support from a wonderful wife. Number two equals C reason number one. It's not completely like Mel is a big part of it. But I wouldn't have even had the conversation with Mel about leaving work. And it was originally like leaving my current company to go work for a different company. And then also at those moments in life where I'm changing jobs, changing careers, whatever, I always have to look at everything, like what else is going on, like where's the world going, like what could I do, and like what am I having fun doing? And that's when it's like the streaming thing was like the support from people who were backing me on Patreon at that time, and seeing the channel grow and the people watching the videos and hanging out in some of the chats and commenting on the videos, and seeing the numbers do this for like 5, 6, 7 years at the time, was what made it even come to the table as a discussion.
Right.
Because originally it was just like, I didn't like the role I was doing at my job. A year before I started doing this full time, I actually tried to quit that job and said, guys, I can't do this. Your company just isn't what I'm looking for. You guys, this department doesn't do things the way they should. I understand you're growing and all, but it's just not for me. I want to go. And then they went, we don't want to lose you. What can we do? Anything? Obviously, you know, money is part of it, but there was another team I worked with that they did the kind of thing I liked doing, and they begged and said, and I was like, if you can find me a position on this other team, I will stay, and we'll do like a trial period kind of thing. But like, I just don't want to work in this side of the company, working with these people, doing this kind of thing, and these clients and stuff. So they like, I basically told them I didn't want to work there, but they were like, no, we'll do whatever. So I stayed for another year working with this different group, but the different group, eventually things started changing, new management, all this stuff, and they wanted to change things. And yeah, it just started to go downhill too for what I wanted to do. And it was stressing me out. And I was just like, this is not for me. It's not what I want to do. So yeah, so I just told them like, hey, I appreciate that, the trial period. I did it for a year, but I'm back to where I was and I'm gotta go. And they went, where are you working next? You got another job lined up? I'm like, no. I've just, I'm good financially that I can just leave a job and I don't have to find the next job. Like, just be debt free and you can do stuff like that. And yeah, that's when it came up. The idea was like, wait, is there a chance that I could do the YouTube stuff, full time, and expand it from just something I'm doing one weekend a month and some weekdays, like maybe in the evening.
It was very random too.
Yeah, it was very rare and random.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the support from you guys, like the original people that were supporting me back in the Game of Thrones, LCG days, going to tournaments, traveling, all those fans from that game that were supporting us. That was the real reason that made it like possible, to make it even a discussion with Mel to do it. So yeah, I don't want to leave them out for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. Anyways, we can talk more about this stuff tomorrow if you guys want. We're in the cafe stream. All right, let's get to some Lord of the Rings before I start crying.
People probably do find that interesting, that story, though.
I know. I could go on and on, but that's what the Q&As are for. That's what the Rob's Cafes are for, is just to chat off topic, because you got to think about the person who comes and watches this later, who just wants to see us show off of this scenario or talk about this game or see what decks we use or how we play it, or, just hang out and watch the game. I know they can scrub through that stuff, so that's why I still have those conversations at the beginning of streams. It also gives time for people to show up to the stream, which is part of like why I like discussing stuff at the beginning. Mm-hmm. It is related to the game. It's related to the future of this game. So this stuff always interests me because I'm, again, the Fantasy Flight Games studio of products is the real reason that brought me into this hobby, got me passionate about the hobby, made me grow a gaming group, made me travel around, the country, travel around the US, playing in tournaments, going to Gen Con, trying to get games to play, like brand new stuff, expanding things, getting into lifestyle games, all that stuff. Buy cameras, trying to show those games off on YouTube. Yeah. All of it is because of this publisher. So anything that goes on with it, it's like, to me, it's very personal. I'm like, man, they're going to change something. They're going to end something. They're going to bring out something new. I have to know. I have to be part of it. I have to see. Like, I'm always super curious. I'm sure you guys have like a favorite, like, author or, comic book series, movie, director, actor, somebody you just love what they create and you're just like always interested. So Fantasy Flight Games, Chip Theory Games, these kind of publishers are always like, I'm always super interested. Like when they're doing something, I'm like, I need to know about it. Like, because yeah, that's the thing. So yeah.
Drew has a funny message here for you. It says, don't cry, Rob. Then I'll cry, and then my dog will cry, and then my cat will know that we are weak and their power balance. My house will shift.
I just picture his dogs crying in front of the TV, and the cat's like on the couch looking at them, like with their paws, like, yes, you weak dogs, we will get you tonight. Sleep with one eye open. Meow. And then Drew's getting waken up in the middle of the night with like a war going on in his living room of like the animals swinging from the lights and jumping off of shelves and stuff.
Oh, that made me laugh.
Yeah. War breaks out.
Oh my gosh.
A shift in the force has happened. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Sorry. Back on track.
Yeah, Emmy, the new owners own a bunch of like video game studios and stuff. And supposedly those studios like being under that publisher or that management company or whatever. And they allow them to do what they want to do and make great things and be creative. So I'm hoping them wanting to get into tabletop gaming, but also some digital gaming, because they are, I think the real reason they talked about was they want to take some of their video game IPs and stuff and bring them into tabletop.
Oh, cool.
Was part of the driving force, which is like, that's awesome. That means there's new stuff. Hopefully they don't just come along and go, hey, you know what? We want FFG to take that one game they used to make and put this IP on it, just slap it on, send it out the door. I hope that's not what goes on. I hope they're like, here's this cool video game IP that has millions of people who loved it, and it doesn't have a board game. We want your designers to create something super interesting and creative. Take your time, take a couple of years, come up with something from scratch, have a good time,
Yeah.
That's what I hope they do. Let creative people be creative, not just be, factory workers slapping on new IPs on old designs and send them out the door. Speaking of old designs, let's play some Lord of the Rings LCG. All right, the Battle of the Five Armies. Enraged by the theft of his treasure, Smaug launched a savage attack on Lake Town to revenge himself on those deemed responsible. There, in an unforeseen turn of events, Smaug was slain by Bard the Bowman, when an old thrush brought him the knowledge of the dragon's weak spot, learned from Bilbo Baggins. In the aftermath of Smaug's death and the ruin of Esgaroth, the armies of men, elves, and dwarfs converged on the Lonely Mountain to lay their claim to the dragon's hoard. But before their dispute could come to unhappy blows, an even greater threat descended suddenly from the north. An army of orcs and wargs had come to take the treasure of Erebor for themselves. The Battle of the Five Armies is played with an encounter deck built with all the cards from the following encounter sets. Okay. Multiple stages in play. When playing the Battle of the Five Armies, stages 2, 3, and 4 will be in play at the same time. While each stage is in play, its game text is active, and we'll show that in a second. Current quest stage. At the beginning of each round, before players have collected resources, the first player must decide which stage will be the current quest stage for that round. Progress cannot be placed on any quest stage except for the current quest stage, and any card effects that affect the current quest can only affect the quest stage chosen for that round. Okay, so we're gonna have 3 quests on the board. We choose at the start of the round which one we're tackling. That's the one that our cards affect. That's the one where progress goes to after we goes through an active location or whatever. And we have to keep switching and kind of keep putting out the fires is the idea.
Okay.
So one of those quests is the standard old boring willpower. You need to exhaust cards, turn cards sideways, put in some willpower, have some of them go on a little quest to progress your journey. Boring, been there, done that. But now they have new shiny battle quests. If a quest card has the battle keyword, when characters are committed to that quest, they count their total attack strength instead of their total willpower when resolving that quest. Enemies and locations in the staging area still use their threat in opposition to this quest attempt. But there's also siege. Whoa. If a quest card has the siege keyword, when the characters are committed to that quest, they count their total defense strength instead of their total willpower when resolving the quest. Enemies and locations in the staging area still use their threat in opposition to this quest attempt.
Awesome.
Boom. So yeah.
Cards are higher than
What do we have here? Oh, there we go. That's better.
Spoilers.
So this is the Gathering of the Clouds, the Battle of Five Armies. What does it say? This says, dread has come upon you all. Alas, it has come more swiftly than I guessed. The goblins are upon you. Bolg of the north is coming. O Dane, whose father you slew in Moria. Behold, the bats are above his army like the sea of locusts. They ride upon the wolves, and wargs are in their train. Gandalf the Hobbit. Set up. Search the encounter deck for Bolg and add him to the staging area.
That was fast. You searched that
Yep.
fast. You didn't even see it.
All right. Bolg, Goblin, Orc. This dude has 50 engagement. So 50 is when you're kind of out of the game. So that obviously means he wants to hang out in the staging area for a while. He has X threat, 6 attack, 3 defense, 8 health. X is the number of players in the game. So it's 2 threat he's adding in the staging area. He's immune to player card effects. So we can't blank him, attach things to him, throw damage at him with effects and stuff like that. Cannot leave the staging area. The first goblin revealed each round gains Surge. Okay. Remember this little line here. It's going to lead into what difficulty we're playing on and why we're playing on that difficulty. But this, my friends, is bad game scaling design right here. Okay. So this game can be played 1 to 4 players. Anytime I see something like this on a card that says X is the number of players in the game, I think, oh, okay, they know how to scale a game properly. More players, increase the threat, makes sense. But then when they have abilities like this that only adds 1 card to the staging area if you see a goblin, it doesn't say the first X goblins surge each round based on X is the number of players -1 or something like that, you know? So this crappy little lazy line of text here is the reason we're playing on easy today. Because at 2 players, throwing an extra goblin in the staging area for our decks that are using the limited card pool of the revised core set, the Hobbit Saga expansions, and the cards we own from the starter decks from our previous collection. Still don't have the starter decks, but we pulled some cards from our collection that are from the starter decks. But even with sticking with the heroes, so playing this campaign, you want to stick with the heroes so you can use the treasures that's in the rule book. So we don't change out our heroes on purpose. But of course, we own heroes in the revised core set that are much better for this scenario than the little group we have here. And even if you own the starter decks, there's, who is it, Dane, Ironfoot, like the best dwarf hero you should have. Whenever you play dwarfs, you should have Dane now. I didn't want to say that when just the revised core set was out and make anyone feel bad, or when we're playing the Hobbit sagas that you don't have Dane. But if you own the starter decks with the dwarfs in it that comes with Dane Ironfoot, you play with that guy. He makes dwarf decks, dwarf themes, 2 players playing dwarf decks. He brings it all together and makes things beatable that shouldn't be beatable with a bunch of dwarfs.
You'll have much more fun.
Yeah, so you can play on normal mode more often, okay? And that's why Mel gets mad at sometimes when she sees difficulty ratings and they're not as high as they should be, but she has to remember that when those were rated at that time, you know, there was other cycles available. People had bigger card pools. They had a bunch of dwarf tech that we're not playing with and stuff like that.
Right.
So because of the limited card pool we're playing with, and they were sticking with the same heroes through the whole thing, we try every scenario, 1 or 2 nights. We sit down and play each scenario, trying to make sure our decks need to be tweaked for it, because that's really what you kind of got to do with this game to solve the puzzle of each scenario. We played the scenario a handful of times. We tried over and over and over again to tweak our decks again to try to get out of the first 2 rounds of this scenario. But this whole goblin surging thing, not to mention adding 2 cards to the area at the beginning, you'll see that in a sec. It just overwhelms us. Plus the 3 quest cards. You'll see it's the trifecta of those 3 things.
Yeah.
Make it so you're literally like you need a mulligan, but like the mulligan in this game kind of also is trouble. So adding all that together, it makes this scenario really hard to get started and not just fail by turn 2. And I don't mean like completely dead and out of the game at 50 threat or anything, or all your heroes are dead.
You just know.
You just know, like your hand is getting ripped of cards. You have no resources are getting ripped from you at the end of every round.
There's enemies everywhere.
And enemies are being added to the staging area at the end of every round. Plus this dude surging each round. Because there's a lot of enemies in this deck. You just get overwhelmed so fast. So we played, and then we get to like round 3, and we scoop. Yep. Then we change some stuff, or we just shuffle it up and thinking maybe if we shuffle our decks a little better, or we shuffle the encounter deck.
Yeah, like we think maybe we just got unlucky.
And there's nothing wrong with it being challenging, but I feel like this was play tested and designed for 4 players using the card pool that was available at the time this box released. And if you have such card pool or beyond, or you have those starter decks, maybe more of the cards from the starter decks, or the heroes from them. Maybe if you picked better heroes to start, like we didn't, you'll be fine. And if you're open up to changing your heroes, but we're kind of sticking with the rules in this saga of staying with the same heroes, or else you're not allowed to use the treasures. And I think it's fun to use the treasures and have them in the deck.
Yeah,
so
we worked hard for those.
Yeah. So the cool part is with this game, you can choose on a scenario by scenario basis to play on standard or easy. We're after did our homework and trying to figure it out. I went online and started reading about the scenario, trying to figure out like, am I crazy?
No, we were very frustrated.
Or am I missing something here? So I found articles back from like when this was released, 2013, 2014, whatever. And there was a lot of complaints at 1 and 2 players, this whole surging thing. And I was like, okay, I was losing my mind. I was like, Mel, this is bad design. And then I went and looked online and bingo, I had like a whole bunch of threads I found of people totally saying the exact same thing I was. So I'm like, I'm not crazy. Thank you. Not as crazy. Sorry, I'm crazy, but not as crazy as I thought it was.
I think the way this last line should be worded should say, in 3 and 4 player games, the first goblin surges.
Or just like do the X, but like X -1. So when solo doesn't surge at all, 2 player
surges once.
Maybe, but not even. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe 1 and 2 don't surge and 3 and 4 surge.
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm not sure about the whole design of the thing, but it just so many scenarios in this game. It's just like an older game, but like I look up scenarios sometimes. I'm reading reviews of them and things when I'm like trying to figure it out, and I remember this from like 7 years ago. I looked up something and it's like, oh yeah, they did this in the game where it doesn't scale well, and they put this thing in here. So if you're playing a 2-player, you're gonna struggle. Blah blah blah. It's like, why? I don't know. That bugs me that games do that. But anyways, so this guy's in the staging area. We got to remember he surges. Okay, and then we have to reveal 1 encounter card per player and add to the staging area. But we should probably draw our cards first. I'm ahead of myself, of course.
Let me just do a quick. I did drop shuffle and I shuffled the whole time the countdown was going, but I just want to make sure that
hey Joseph,
everything is separated because I had it all put together to send you the list. Did you add mine to the?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the deck lists we're playing with are linked down below in the video description if you're looking for them. The Rings DB links are down there. They're like we tweaked and kind of I put some different cards in for fun. Yeah, and even right before the stream, I was still kind of like modifying. Yeah, just for fun. I just put back in some cards. Since we decided to play on easy, I kind of put some cards in that I was having fun with and changed a few things, which probably didn't make a better deck, but I kind of, yeah, no, I don't want to play like super awesome decks against like easy mode, but it's still pretty tough, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't like a crush playing it on easy.
But yeah, we'll see.
At all.
But there were cards that we started putting in last scenario and the scenario before that I'm like, oh man, I want to play with those still, even though maybe they're not the best for the scenario, but we'll see. But yeah, they're linked down below. But let's figure out what we're playing with here.
Okay.
Before we go into that, I always get ahead of myself, want to show off the scenario, then pick the cards. I do that in all these games, but you're really supposed to like figure out your hand first and then start the scenario setup. But since we already know the scenario, it's like doesn't really matter.
I didn't shuffle good enough. Okay, so sorry, we said if we pull a treasure, pull another one, right?
Yeah, so treasure is supposed to go in your deck at setup, but I usually forget. But when we draw, we'll just do it like weaknesses in Arkham Horror LCG. We're just discard it to the side, then shuffle it back in after.
Mm-hmm.
But we forgot one scenario. I know we drew some at the beginning, but yeah. I try to remember that every scenario. Okay.
This just makes me want to keep it just because this.
This doesn't make you money.
No.
Speaking of making me money, hello, Mr. Horn of Gondor. Oh, and I got, see, this is good. So this one, this scenario, they like to strip resources from you at the end of the first round. So seeing a bunch of cheap cards, I put in a lot more 1-cost cards in my deck, including like these 2 dudes. So they will help me able to spend those resources before they disappear and still get some bodies out on the board. Because if you don't do that in the scenario, that's how we were falling apart, was if you draw into your 2 and 3 and whatever cost allies, and you only have like 1 resource to work with each round, you just run out because one of the quest cards, just you'll see in a sec, it takes away resources. So that's why we kind of skewed our deck a little cheaper.
My deck does still have a lot of 3-cost allies because in the dwarfs, it's all I didn't really have. But
options. You do have Steward of Gondor in your deck.
I do.
So that gets around that problem.
That does get around it. If I can get 5 dwarfs, and that's why I'm looking. See, I'm looking at him right here.
And he makes that.
And he makes the 5 dwarfs.
But you can't get it unless
I can if we play on easy because I start with 4.
Oh yes, we are playing on easy. We are playing on easy.
Which is why I can also put one of these in play.
We only played it on easy once after so many playthroughs of getting frustrated. So I'm still mentally in the idea of we're playing this on standard. So I have to like relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh
man.
And yeah. But not relax too much. I want to win.
So like I want to keep it for these 2 cards here, but I am thinking I don't have any cancels. I don't have any one revealed cancels. I don't have Steward of Gondor, which I would love to have right away. I don't know.
I would mulligan hard.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I would mulligan. Just make sure these are nice and separated in your deck and not together still. Yeah, put them way apart, way apart.
I guess I can shuffle this back in now too.
That's what I would do, but you can do whatever. But again, we're playing on easy, so we got a bit of a buffer.
I know.
And it's like easy in quotes. Like they take out a couple cards, you get an extra resource at the beginning, but it does. The resource is really what helps. But yeah, taking out some of the cards. So we follow the we followed the Quest Companion website here again. It's linked down in the video description if you're looking for it. So this one's rated a 7 by 49 players.
I'm going to go in and name it a 7.5.
So here's where we got the easy mode from. So during step 2 of setup, place heroes' initial threat levels, add 1 resource to each hero's resource pool, then remove the following cards. So anyone who's paying attention or playing this at home wondering like, what are you guys talking about? What did you remove? These are what we removed following this little guide here. So I don't know where this info comes from, but it's in this website categorized. So there you go. Hopefully that helps somebody out. But yeah, until we have like a bigger card pool, we have a bigger card pool. Until we've expanded our YouTube card pool, going through the boxes, we would play this in the future, maybe on standard, but I'm just going to play it on easy today. But that's what's removed. And we have them all here. So, let's throw those back here.
So you're keeping your hand?
Yes.
Ugh.
Yep. I can stop a guy from attacking if something really bad comes out of the beginning. I Blade of Gondolin for some extra attack against orcs. This scenario actually brings back orcs. So all of our treasures and things that give us card draw, money, progress from killing orcs and things, or getting extra orcs, all work again. So it's kind of cool.
Okay.
They're still creatures though. They're still creatures, but they're a lot of orcs.
I can work with this. I still got a feely. Cram. Okay. And
Herschel says you can shuffle BCW cards without damaging them. You make sure you shuffle both decks with the closed side next to each other.
What's BCW cards?
I think BCW is like a brand of like sleeves, maybe? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I think he means like with the open end on the sleeve. Like,
oh, you can definitely damage them.
Yeah.
We have before.
Yeah, they can definitely.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to keep, we'll make this work.
Oh, Mike just got the notification.
Well, Mike's been here. He's just making a joke because he just got it, but he's been here.
Really? So I need to talk for like another 20 minutes before starting the scenario, is what you're saying? Before everyone gets their notification?
Oh, that's funny.
Damn you, YouTube. Damn you.
So we're playing on easy, right? So we get to start with 1 resource since we...
Yeah, so you get the
after
resource
we
now.
Draw our cards.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we've drawn. We're good now. Oh, sorry.
So I'm 28 threat to start.
Oh, I'm 30.
1 resource
so
each.
Back.
Okay, so let's continue with the setup. All right. So now we're going to reveal the 1 encounter card per player. I just don't want to have that information before we finished our setup.
Definitely fair.
So, So we got this dude who is only 1, 1, and 1, 20 threats. So he's coming after us already, 4 health. But the problem is this enemy gets +1 to all those stats except for his health for each quest stage in play with no progress on it. So he's going to have +3 on all his stats at the beginning, which really sucks. There's certain cards in this scenario, if they show up early, they're really bad. And that, I think, is one of them.
I agree.
And then the second card, this guy sucks too. But 2, 3, 1, 3. Forced. When the Ravenous Warwick attacks, the defending player must declare the character he controls with the most damage as a defender, even if exhausted. So this guy, like if you have a hero that's exhausted, like if I had Gimli exhausted with some damage on him as I normally do, this guy just goes after him.
Yeah.
That's crazy. This guy's nuts.
This guy's nuts.
So,
and he hits for 3 too. So it's not even a light hit.
Yeah, and he's a creature, not an orc, so we don't get all the bonus stuff for that. All right. So when revealed, put stage 2, 3, 4 into play at the same time, then remove this stage from play. So stage 2. It's only 8, which is so easy, not a problem. Players cannot advance from this stage unless stage 3 and 4 are complete. Forced. If there is no progress on the stage at the end of the round, each player must discard 1 random card from a hand. Okay, that's annoying.
Very.
Stage 3, Battle in the Dale. So that was the Eastern Spur. This is Battle in the Dale. It's 8 also. Players cannot advance from this stage unless 2 and 4 are completed. So literally all the stages have to have at least 8 on them before we can advance to the final one. And this is the one that has Battle. So we quest against it with attack instead of willpower. Forced. If there's no progress on this stage at the end of the round, the first player adds the topmost enemy in the discard pile to the staging area if able. So this is why I was talking, this is like the trifecta of like these things all punishing you taking cards from your hand, ripping your resources, and adding more enemies to the staging area. Not to mention adding the ones we start with, not to mention the surges from Bulg. It's just like a lot. It's like it just overwhelms you really quickly if you're not ready for it. Which is cool, but a little crazy. And nothing wrong with it being hard. It should be. It's an epic finale, right? So it's like, it's got to be challenging. It's got to have that replay value. And I love the way it made us keep trying it and trying it and trying it. Nothing wrong with that. That's what I love about this game. But yeah, I just need to scale it back. So yeah, not saying it's a bad scenario. Still super fun. But yeah, it just makes me like, I want to try this with these heroes. And I want to go get out those giant boxes of thousands of cards we have and start ripping player cards out of there to build something to fight this guy with. So this is the siege one for defense. Forced, if there's no progress on this stage at the end of the round, each player must discard all resources from each hero's resource pool.
I hate this one.
So this game already feels tight with resources of card draw and money, depending on the type of decks you're playing with. But yeah, them to scoop away all your resources at the end of every round is a little rough. So that's why we're talking about like 3-cost ally. Building up for that is like impossible. Even a 2-cost ally, if you only have one of that sphere, it's rough. But yeah. And then we have 5, which we won't go to, and that's the final one until they're all completed. Let's throw that behind there. Okay. So yeah, let's start your first player.
Yep.
And then we'll draw and gain our resources.
Oh, we have to pick, before we gain our resources, we have to pick which one we're starting on.
Oh yes, start of the round.
Yeah.
I say we go after the one that adds enemies to the staging area.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
But you can look at your hand. If you feel you need more money, you should have
I think
one extra money on all of them.
Yeah, sorry. I was just before, because, yeah, sorry.
But yeah, think about the money you have, the cards in your hand. Do you care if your resources disappear as bad as be overwhelmed by enemies? The fact we have 2 enemies to start with that's what's making me think we need to stop the enemies from coming back. Because this 30 might not come after us. We can leave them there.
Yeah, I'm 30.
Hopefully.
I'm 30.
Oh, you are 30?
Yeah.
But this 20 is coming after us for sure. So 2 are, and then we're going to see more. So if they're enemies, we might get a little overwhelmed here at the beginning.
Yeah.
So which is why I think one of them will die at least, and then we'll have something. If there were no enemies here that or some that we wouldn't kill right away, then there'd be nothing in the discard pile. I wouldn't worry about it yet. But I do think something will get killed.
No, I agree for sure.
And we'll be overwhelmed. So we might want to maybe worry about cutting off the leak of enemies, maybe.
Yeah, I think so too.
The goblin gains surge. No, the goblin doesn't. Not yet. The goblin will when we draw off and when we actually are in the game. The first goblin revealed each round gains surge. The ones during setup wouldn't be during the first round yet. So when we're in the quest stage, we'll actually be in the first round. We're in the first round now in resources, but Mel's actually backed us up a little bit. We should, at the start of the round, actually begin the round by choosing which quest to do. So have we chosen?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Rings in there.
Oh, thank you. I was going to say, I didn't know.
So we'll use, of course, the...
sorry. Yep.
We'll use, of course, the 1 ring. Instead of using it for our first player token, we are going to use it to mark which quest we're working on. So it's going to be this one, right? Yeah. The one with attacking is the one that is enemies. Makes sense, right? You're fighting. Defense is, I guess you're trying to block your money.
Yep.
That's how I was remembering it. And then the willpower one is the...
discarding cards.
Discarding cards. Okay.
Okay. And then Bilbo will indicate our first player as we pass him back and forth. Okay.
It's a lot like having to go to work, having no stream to watch, when you get home and then find out your favorite restaurant is closed.
Okay, and I didn't draw yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't draw yet. Okay. Is that a when revealed? Yeah. Okay. Okay. This is not terrible. This is not terrible. We can work with this, I think. So first thing I'm going to do, we're going to begin, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So as first player, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend one of Bilbo's resources to search my deck for a treasure.
Do it.
And I'm going to search for Bilbo's magic ring.
It's right here.
Yeah.
Right there. It's right there. You don't have to search. I put it right here.
Oh, it's coming. Okay. I'm not going to shuffle yet because I'm going to do some more interacting with that deck. So, okay. Then I'm going to do an action, exhaust Bilbo's magic ring and raise your threat by 1 to gain a resource. on. Okay.
So Bilbo's resources are used in this one to travel to certain locations. I don't know what else they're used for. But that's like a theme of these saga expansions that you've seen so far, is Bilbo's like the center of it. If he dies, we lose. But he also, his resources, his attachments and stuff are like very key to your victory. If you don't manage them correctly, you're in trouble.
Okay. I am going to spend one more of his resources to find another treasure.
Yay, more treasure.
I'm thinking about taking the Arkenstone. Because I can. Oops. Oh yeah, sorry, better.
So attached to a hero, exhaust the Arkenstone. So this is a treasure we got in the last scenario, which I do love how even from the first scenario, we found treasure in the very first Hobbit saga box so many weeks ago. And those treasures all really matter for this final scenario. Like they're all orc, draw cards, money, like their Sting helps you with giving Bilbo +1 to all his stats, which matters in this one because every single stat is like the attack, the defense, and the willpower are all part of how you get through these quest stages. So I love how even this Arkenstone we just got in the last one, like all these treasures are like so amazing for this one. And it's cool because even when we got them, I didn't value them as much. We don't use them that often.
No, some of them not even.
Some of the scenarios don't even have orcs in them. So these treasures kind of just suck sometimes. But it's cool how this final scenario, all these seem super powerful, especially this one. So if you're playing this on standard mode and you're having trouble getting allies on the board, here's an answer. Action, exhaust the Arkenstone and raise your threat by X to lower the X cost of the next ally you play this phase that matches the attached to your sphere. So this is another way, if your resources are getting scooped away, another way to kind of cheat allies in what you need to do. But if you didn't get this treasure in the last scenario, like, I don't know. I mean, we got lucky getting that one, I think.
Okay, I'm going to attach that to Nori. I could do one more time if you're okay with me spending one more.
Yeah, you do whatever.
Okay.
I think
one more. If you need.
I just don't know if we see something to travel to.
I can leave one there and be fine.
But the one we can travel to for one is only the one that matches up with this. Are the odds of us seeing that perfect one that goes to 3B come out in the board? That's rare. All the other ones are 2 to travel to it. So your call. What's the other treasure you're trying to grab? It's the one, the Gandalf one, right?
The one that I can.
Go ahead though, if you want to do it.
I'll show it to you, and then you can decide.
I'll just get mad at you after. It's
the one that gives me +2 on attacks, and if I kill an orc, I can draw a card. So.
Well, Carl likes the one we picked for our quest.
Oh, perfect, perfect.
Or the treasure, maybe. I'm not sure. I think
all is good.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's a good one to pick. I'm assuming he means the quest card, but let us know, Carl. Let us know.
Yeah, that's what I would pick if I did pick, which would give me +2 to an attack. I would attach to Thorin, and if I.
Sting is in Carl. Sting is in my deck. Actually,
we don't have Sting yet. That's in. We gotta wait till Rob takes.
And we started Mel here so that she could get the ring out. We had her start first player, so she'd get the magic ring, which helps fuel the resources right away on him.
Yeah.
To kind of speed things up. But when I get control of him next round, I'm definitely grabbing Sting to throw on him.
Oh, I also just realized that I can make my threat under 30 when I play my dwarfs. Okay, I am going to do this. I hope you're okay with that.
Whatever. I'm just fine.
So now Thorin is a 5,
Yay.
Which is also good because we need the plus.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll shuffle this in a minute, and then I'll just play some cards, and then okay. So let's place a cram here so that he can do multiple things. Let's do a Feely for 3. I will lower my threat by 1.
Both. Nice.
Search for Keely. Okay. Then I could, now here's a actually could leave my threat at 29. I don't necessarily need Northern Tracker right now. He does have 2 attack, which will be good for this quest. Because I could raise my threat to play them.
It's up to you.
But I also am sitting here with a cancel when revealed. So
I know, and you want to have the money for that.
So I probably would have to raise my threat by 3 to pay only 1.
I'm not going to say no. You do what you want to do. You've played the scenario enough now to know, like, you built your own deck, you tweaked your own deck. You do what you think is good.
Or I wait 1 round.
You do it.
I think I'm gonna. Let's do. No, I don't. Go.
Let's crush the scenario.
I know, but I worry that this.
Joking.
I only worry because now I'm
I
under
know.
30. This guy's not coming to me if I can't handle him. If we get overrun by other guys, if I play him, I'm above 30.
But you're assuming we quest enough. What if we quest under and our threat goes up anyway? Because the first orc surges.
Yeah.
There's encounter cards with surge printed on them.
Yeah. Okay.
There's high threat locations.
Yep.
And
I'm just scared.
I know it's attack, but like
I'm just scared.
I don't know.
Okay. If I'm gonna put Northern Tracker in, which is fine, so I'm gonna spend 1, and then exhaust the Arkenstone, raise my threat by 3 to pay the rest.
Do you have 3 of that threat reduction card in your deck?
3. Yeah. I have 2.
Like Glamdring's
I have
Greeting or
2, but I have
something?
ways to bring it back to my hand.
Oh, Dwarven Tomb?
Yeah. Okay, then in this case,
Or Gladriel's
not
Greeting?
important right now because I know there's no. This can put it on our location. Oh, this can go on our quest actually.
I'll read it. What does it say?
When he enters play, choose a location. Oh, never mind. Place one price. I just want to have him for a body. I don't care about his ability.
Kill does not lower your threat because you did not play him from your hand.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Keely.
Oh, the second one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He entered play another way.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
No problem. Thank you.
Is that what it says when you play it?
After a dwarf enters play under your control.
Then it does do it, yeah?
I don't know. I thought so because
Yeah.
it's entering play under my control.
After a dwarf ally enters play under your control. He definitely entered play. I would think it does work. How do these guys work? This one you played?
Yeah.
After you play Keely from your hand, so he entered play, during the planning phase, search your deck for Keely and put him into play.
Under your control.
Under your control.
I think it does.
I think it does work, actually. Carl, I think it works, but maybe there's like an errata.
Yeah.
Do you know the entry in the errata or anything that would counteract that, or the page in the rules reference we would look at? I just want to be for sure, because I know some people get rules wrong sometimes, including us, and I don't want to be playing that way, and it's incorrect also. Based on what's printed on our cards, I remember we're playing with actually your heroes from the revised core set, so that's the newest printing.
Yep.
So that should be correctly worded. But your Keely and Feely, they are from like a 2013 printing of the Hobbit expansion, I think. I'm pretty sure. So they might have issues on them.
Yeah, I think by reading, I'm going to go back and then unless we find another
100%,
way.
this question's been asked on BGG with this game's been around so long. I guarantee.
Oh, but maybe
What's the guy hero's name? Nori?
Nori. But maybe if we look it up, we'll be sad. So maybe we should not.
Nori, Keely, Feely, enters, play, threat, lower. Let's just do that and see what happens. Maybe it hasn't been asked.
Like by reading it, I would think because it specifically says put into play under your control and the other wording, maybe it.
Yeah, no, because it doesn't say play. Like Nori doesn't say.
Put into play.
No, Nori doesn't say after you play a dwarf ally, reduce your threat. He says after a dwarf ally enters play under your control. So they're very specific with those wordings. But if this did say after a dwarf ally, after you play a dwarf ally, or after you play a dwarf ally from your hand, reduce your threat. And we've seen that kind of wording on cards. So this one allows it, doesn't matter where it comes from, as long as it comes from an out of play area, like hand, a discard pile, collection, another player's control. Another player's control in play would still be in play.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be mine.
Set aside. Sometimes things will set things aside and then they re-enter play from an out of play area. This isn't that case. This does work, I'm pretty sure.
I've been playing it that way the whole time, but I mean, if I'm wrong, I can adjust.
But yeah, Carl, if you have a page in the rules reference. Oh, you have a different Nori?
You have a different one. You know what? I think there is a different one. When I go on RingsDB.
Let's look them up.
I think there was a different one.
Yeah, I find this stuff super fascinating. Because again, I stopped following the game for like 7 years, so I don't know what they changed, what they did. But I think we're playing with the right Nori. Oh, this Nori's from the Hobbit box.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is an old Nori.
This Nori is old. Yeah, sorry, this Nori is not from the core set.
Because Chad from COTR podcast says by reading, threat would be reduced, but Nori has an errata to be from your hand.
That's what I asked.
Oh, but I like old Nori.
Right here.
I'm playing old Nori.
Yes. See, look, after you play a dwarf character from your hand, reduce your threat by 1.
Oh, way to crush my dreams.
we talked about this at the start of this series. We were playing with, like, I literally bought this box like the day it came out back in whatever 2013, whatever 2014. I don't know when this guy came out. Where Nori's from? Nori's from. Oh, this one's the Dwarves of Durin. That's not helping. Where's the Nori?
That's the new one, right?
Over the hill and under the hill. This Nori. Yeah, I didn't realize he had errata.
Oh no. Well, I've been playing it the other way the whole time.
Yeah.
Do I continue playing wrong, or do we fix it for this one?
No, we'll fix it for this one.
Okay.
We'll fix it for this one.
Mel.
So we learned something.
Thank you, guys.
So anyone who just came out of a time capsule from like 2013 and found our stream and is like, oh, no way. You just learned like we did that there's an errata for this card.
Oh, no.
But we said this at the beginning of the series, was like, we're playing with old cards, so like hopefully it's all correct, but we didn't know, right? So we're playing with revised core set cards on purpose, so those should all be correct. But yeah, all the encounter cards and the player cards from those boxes are all old. So, and I don't think FFG is going to reprint these anytime soon in a new repackage, so I don't think I'm going to rebuy them to get the new versions or anything. So
Emmy says play the old wording, call it loyalty bonus for longtime players.
So Carl's sitting here going like, you idiots can't even read your card. Carl's watching like, look at these cheaters. Mel is flat out cheating, reading her card and not even doing it right.
See, I wasn't. That's why I always thought it worked, and that's why I played it that way. Yeah, that is so funny. Okay, I've put my throw back to 33.
Emmy does mention something that I believe too. So when playing on YouTube, I try to play the latest info because I'm also a source of information for people. And I do get a kick when I do something on stream and someone's like, oh, I just learned something, or I didn't know that was a thing, or I didn't realize the designer said that in some forum somewhere. Thank you for the information. And you do with the information what you want. But if I didn't play on YouTube, I am totally like Emmy is saying, like, you play it how it's printed. And I feel they screwed up. They printed it a certain way. They play tested it. It's their mistake. You play it on your living room table or your board game table or whatever at your house. However you want, it's your game. You paid for the cards. You make up your own rules. You do whatever you want with them. I'm all for that. But we're playing on YouTube, and yes, I make mistakes and we play things wrong, whatever. But of course I want to play with the latest information, right?
Yeah.
And make sure somebody sees the latest info too. So that's funny that it took till episode. You've been playing that.
I've been playing it that way the whole time.
This is like week number 6.
Yeah.
And Carl finally comes in and goes, hey, I don't think it works that way.
Thanks, Carl. But I guess you have to be paying attention, right, when I'm doing it.
Yeah. Thank you, Carl, for bringing that up.
Yeah, thank you. I just joke.
But I was like, man, I'm reading the card here, Carl.
Yeah, that's why
I think we're playing it right. And then Carl's like, my card's different.
Based on my interpretation of the wording, I thought it was right.
Then the light bulb went off. That was funny. That was definitely funny. Thank you, Carl.
I've raised my threat back to 33. It's fine.
Carl's playing with the inferior version of Nori. Sorry, Carl, your card isn't as good as ours.
All right. Still good though.
But Emmy's saying, I mean, from what you're saying before, even the versions in the new starter decks might not have the correct wording. This is true. This is true.
Yeah, they may have had a typo on it.
Yeah, Carl, your version of Nori might be actually incorrect. We don't know.
Oh man.
Fun times. Like, who to trust? I don't know. Who to trust?
Oh goodness, that is so funny.
But yeah, it's a reward for us being long-term players. We get to play with the better version.
Yeah, but I'm not though, because I put my thread up.
You do whatever.
No. I'll it's fine. We'll play that way.
But it is funny.
Okay, I am gonna play the Snowborn Scout. I know there's no his ability's not gonna fire off, but I would love a body so I don't lose one of these bodies potentially from an attack. So
look at your board. This is like, okay, when we play this on standard, Mel's just frustrated. It has 1, 2, 3 resources on her heroes.
I can never play anything.
And only spent one off Bilbo to find the treasure, and then spent another one to find a treasure. And this is all she has. And then in questing, she's like, doesn't even have enough points to even beat what's in the staging area. I look at my board, it's like the same thing. And then you put her on easy. You give just 1 extra resource to each hero, And this is the kind of bananas that happens. It is crazy how key resources are in this game and how much you can get from that one extra resource per hero. It is like, it blows my mind. Blows my mind.
Yeah.
If you ever played this game or have looked at this game and thought it was too difficult, don't be ashamed. Play on the easy. And even I would recommend, if you don't want to play fully on easy, I debate playing on a hybrid version where you just take the extra resources. And I've done that before when I'm play testing decks and scenarios and stuff. I don't take all the cards out and make the scenario on easy mode. I just do the extra resource thing and play like a middle ground difficulty.
Yeah.
And I find just those resources just smooth things out sometimes. Just make the game a little more fun. Still gets difficult because you're playing with all the horrible cards in there still. But sometimes it just gets your deck going and it's nice to see the cards you put in there and things. But yeah, it's cool.
I'm done. Go ahead.
All right.
Sorry. That took a really long time.
Yes, it did. I think we're almost done the stream now.
And we just stopped.
All right, we'll play the rest of it next week, everybody. See you later.
Sorry.
We're going to throw a Horn of Gondor on Thalin. Actually,
is that when people die, you gain a resource?
Yes.
Okay.
No, when a character is destroyed.
Character is destroyed. Okay. I will let you know when that happens.
Okay. And then we are going to play a Defender of Ramas. And we're going to play a Blade of Gondolin.
Chad calls it sleazy mode.
Slightly easy is also known as sleazy. Okay.
I like that mode.
I don't know if you're going to expand your player group by telling people you want to play a sleazy mode game with them. You might lose some players doing that. Be careful. Or you might have restraining orders or the police called, stuff like that. So be careful. Be careful with how you say that. Make sure they understand what you're offering there. I'm like debating putting this on your guy if he's going to be a fighting
He's going to be a fighter. He's already at 5.
Because I debate putting on Gimli, but I know I'll have other things for Gimli once I get my treasure hunting going.
Is it restricted?
Yes.
Okay, so that'll be my second restricted card, which is fine.
Do you have another restricted card you put on him normally?
No, because...
then take this Blade of Gondolin and wield it.
The unexpected courage is not restricted, so I don't believe so.
The only thing is I don't have a resource for Feint, but
Oh, if you want to wait, you can.
No.
Because he can kill whatever's in the staging area now, I think.
But if you're going first, so if a character on your side does die to an attack, he'll get a resource, and I'll have it if I need to stop someone else.
He will likely be my meat shield for whatever attack is coming in.
Okay, then I'll play this. Actually, I'll play this guy, Erebor Record Keeper, and I'll stop there.
Okay, so
questing with attack. Attack strength. Right now in the staging area, we have 2, 3, 4, 5.
Sorry, this guy is.
Oh, sorry.
4.
So 2, 6, 7, 8 actually.
Holy smokes, we have 8 in there right now.
Yeah, the fact we saw this guy on setup is very rough.
Bad. Very bad. We're probably going to fail this one.
But I have I have this card in hand, which is why I'm not worried about him as much. Why I kind of brain farted and forgot about him completely. Choose an enemy in the staging area until the end of the phase. That enemy does not contribute its threat. So that's why I saved a resource on Ori, was just in case this needs to be used. But already I feel like it's going to need to be used. So.
Also, just so I don't forget, I do have a when revealed cancel, and I have 1 resource ready for it. Okay,
for once you have it in your opening hand. Nice.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to quest with. Just gotta shift so I can do some rotating. So, this guy's actually. This doesn't count though, right? Because his attached hero gets +1 when attacking an orc. So I feel like I'm still only a 5 for the quest. Because I'm not attacking an orc. 5, 6, 7, 8. Which one do I have in my hand? 8, 9, 10. I will quest 10. Excuse me.
10?
Yeah.
Just trying to look at what Helm's Deep, which set that was from.
Oh yeah, because Orbit.
Yeah, Orbit's saying I was really thinking of playing Helm's Deep Saga scenario on easy. I'm 0 for 7 so far.
So frustrating. Yeah, try on easy. Wow.
Or sleazy. Try sleazy
Yeah,
first.
try that first.
Try
yeah.
sleazy first.
You might, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put in.
Again, we're just using this to track what we're putting in for quests, so we remember when we chat and everything too.
2, 3, 4. That's it.
4?
Yep, 4 on my side.
14 total.
Okay. Dirty old Northern Slopes, 3 threat. While Northern Slopes is in the stage area, each goblin enemy gets +1 attack, +1 defense.
Okay.
And while it's the active location, it gains force. When a character leaves play, remove 1 progress from the current quest if able. So many things are trying to rip progress off these quests that we're trying to like keep progress on. It's crazy.
That's a heavy location.
And please don't be a goblin. Please don't be a goblin. It's a
It's
bat.
bat. And
Pew!
nice. Okay.
Thalen snipes him.
Okay, this is not the worst.
So we didn't get a surging goblin on the first round. I am floored.
Wow.
Like, that is crazy.
Okay. So this guy's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're up 3.
But if I play this card,
Then we'd be up
7. 1 away.
Yeah.
1 away.
I don't think you necessarily need to right now. Maybe make it. Do you want to wait on it?
But then, like.
Or yeah, then we still have to go back here.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is
because I know it's gonna tick some away, and that'll just buy us like more of a buffer, so we can kind of forget about this one for a bit.
Yeah.
So even though we didn't hit the 8 we need, even if we did hit the 8, there's gonna be some removal. There's cards in this deck that literally, when revealed, remove stuff from like all the quests, which is so lame.
Yeah.
So this extra we put on here is just for buffer, I guess. We'll try to get more on there and have it in a good state. But you kind of want to quest like over them, like have like 10 sitting on each one instead of 8.
Yeah, so you don't have to go back multiple times.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It's like wasted rounds.
could have maybe put one more in, but.
All right.
Okay, so
Travel?
yeah, I'm assuming we want to travel.
Yep, because I don't want this in the staging
No.
area. I want this out of the staging area so it's not increasing their attack and defense while we're about to fight them or in the future.
I agree.
But it is only goblin enemies, so this guy wouldn't get that buff.
Okay.
But this guy does.
That guy would.
Who already has.
Okay.
He actually dropped down to a. He's got 3 on all his stats now because we have
nice.
willpower on there. So your first player, do you want to optionally engage?
I am going to just lose a character to the attack. So is there one you would rather? They're both hitting for 3 actually, so I don't think.
Can you fight back and kill one?
Yeah, because
over
I
the
have
other?
I have cram.
Well, this one needs to be hit for 5. This one needs to be hit for 4.
Orc, I'm better. Orc, I hit for 6.
Okay.
Regular.
And and then you can add progress if you do kill him.
Yeah.
So I say you take that one. I take this one.
Perfect. Okay, so I don't need that anymore. I'll take this guy. Okay. So I'm going to defend with the Snowborn Scout. No shadow effect. He is gone. So 2 things are going to happen. Your trigger, and then we remove 1 progress.
Who's doing that again?
I think it's location.
Oh yeah, this thing. Force. When a character leaves play, remove 1 progress from the current quest if able.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, then this guy's going to attack here. He wants to attack the most damaged character, but all of mine have no damage. I'll say it's this guy. And he'll block for 4. And no shadow effect. Ooh. Okay.
Okay. And then attack. I will discard Cram to ready attached hero. And then I will just attack for 3, 4, 5, 6, which kills him.
Okay, and
Then we put 1 progress on our current quest. Oh, which goes here.
active location.
So let's put 1 here. And then because I was an orc, I also get to draw 1 card.
Woo!
Which is just help for Bilbo. Okay, I have 2 of those now.
All right.
Not what I wanted.
I just will fight this guy and hit him for 1.
Would you have been better against the other guy? No, right? Because he still was.
No, he was more health.
Okay.
The only thing was I could have like let this guy just die, but then I didn't want more removing from the quest.
But could you have got more through on that guy?
No, they had the same
Oh,
defense.
did I? Hold on.
Oh,
Because of his defense.
yeah, he is 3 defense. So you actually need to hit him for like 7. Sorry,
I only hit him for 6. Okay, so sorry. Yeah, I forgot about the extra defense on him too. So he's 1 away.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I have guys.
Oh, you could
I
have added
guys.
him in the attack.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I got guys here. Never mind.
You got attack for
guys.
days.
I forgot. I wasn't even thinking about the extra damage. Yeah, we're all good. Sorry.
Okay. End of the round.
There you go.
Threat goes up by 1. 29 for me.
At the end of the round, we have to lose all resources as well and discard a card before we draw. Get rid of one of those Bilbo ones. I will take this one. Oh!
Faint.
Sorry. Oh,
whatever.
Man. Yes. Okay, good.
Bilbo's card.
Okay, now before we get our resources and everything, we have to choose where we're going.
The one with the resource pool thing?
Yeah, please. That's good.
So we're going after the defense of Ravenhill. So now our questing will be from the defense stat. And this is the one that's getting us to discard resources at the end of every round. So I think we want to shut that off, even though like I'm in control of the card draw. But
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 resources. Or 5 resources. 5 dwarfs, so Thorn's going to gain an extra. Oh, Steward of Gondor. Yes. Yes. Do I even need this right now? I don't need it right minute.
Okay. I'm going to play this Hannah Marth River Song guy. And I cannot afford... Oh, treasure hunting.
Treasure.
Yes. Sorry, I forgot about... I need to grab a treasure. I want to grab Sting to get us going. Actually... Orcus might help, but I think Sting is better. Or I could raise the threat. Actually, yeah, I'll do the whole... I'll give him Sting. And then I'll increase my threat by 1
to I didn't increase my threat at the end 30. Of the round. Sorry, everyone.
So increase mine to 30 to gain another resource on Bilbo, which I'll spend to then grab another treasure. I think I'll do Orcus, which is attached to your restricted attached character gets +2 attack. After attached hero destroys an orc enemy, add 1 resource to that hero's resource pool. I'll throw it on Gimli.
I need another character. I don't have a...
Yeah, I need a 5th dwarf to get card draw going, but I cannot afford this dwarf. Okay. And then I'm going to lose this dwarf at the end of the round because of this stupid thing, unless this shifts us to the other one.
Oh.
And then we...
Because you can't afford to play that?
No, he's cost 3, and I don't have the resource right now.
I have this, but I go second.
It's all good. Do what you got to do. Go ahead.
There's no way for me to give you a resource.
No, go ahead. Do what you got to do. Play your turn.
I'm not 100% where I need this yet.
Hey, Matthew.
I think I need it on purple.
Need My Kabas says, hey, keep playing your turn. Do you have a date for when you play Battle of Five Armies board game? I don't know.
We talk about it.
Maybe when we're done playing the Battle of Five Armies card game, maybe we'll play it. I don't know. Soon, though. Soon. That's the plan. We'll see.
That is all.
I just thought Orbit's saying yes. Does sleazy mode involve prohibition, alcohol, and jazz music? Oh man, speakeasy, sleazy speakeasy. Questing.
Okay, questing.
So it's defense, right?
It's defense. Yep.
Right. 1, 2. I need to hit this guy for 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9.
10.
No more defense.
10, 11. When he commits to the quest, we can put... Ooh. Oh, sorry, no, in the staging area.
Right?
In the staging area, dang it. 11.
RTFC.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. 11, 12, 13.
Just kidding.
No, you're true. You're right.
I meant me too, because I was about to do it. And then I was like, wait a second, that's not how that guy works.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
Yeah, we don't want to do like my mistake last week where we get halfway through the game realizing Bilbo doesn't have the treasure on him I thought he did.
That's funny.
Because I didn't realize. But I put it on right away so we don't forget this time.
All right, I think we're going to go 14.
14.
Yeah.
And we have 2 in there right now.
Yep.
You know it's going to switch it on us.
I know.
Oh, but you have a cancel, right?
I do.
That's... All right, so we got our first goblin of the round. This guy's going to gain Surge. When revealed, remove 1 progress from each stage and play 2 progress instead if 3 or more players in the game. See? They know how to scale it for higher players. I just don't know the Surge thing.
So this one goes down to 5. He gets a damage because of Fallon.
So he surges into his twin brother, the other Gundabad climber.
So it drops it down to 4.
So that sucks.
He gets a damage.
And the second-ish card is another one of these guys. So this guy right now is adding in 3 threat. But if we get some on there, it'll drop down after.
All right. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're up 7.
I don't know. You're the keeper of the
Yeah,
threat,
I'm just surprised.
The threat dial.
Yeah, we're up 7. So 2 is going to go here to remove that.
Okay. Plow. Gone.
And then 5 is going to go on our current quest.
Yeah.
So that reduces him now down to only +1.
Yeah.
Which is great. Okay. This is good.
Travel, nothing to travel to.
Oh, sugar me.
Enemy stuff.
Yeah. I'm 34, so 2 of these are coming to me. So if there's one you want, what are you?
30.
Oh, you're only 30, so.
Well, I'm first, so if I pass on forced, you would option engage, then I would only get this one.
Yeah.
And then these ones would both go to you.
Yeah.
It just goes back and forth and then you get them. But can you handle the only hit for 2?
Yeah.
And you just have to hit them for 3 back each.
Yeah, I can kill 1 this round and then
Because they are the weenies of the deck.
Yeah.
I have guys to defend with. I'm okay losing this guy.
I have 2 defenders. Again, I'm okay to lose this guy as well because I have another one in my hand.
Oh, okay.
And I think I only have...
I fight with them.
And then I'll just lose the other one. But they don't do very much fighting either. So... But
what do you think?
I don't think he would even die anyways. And I have ways to change the shadow cards if needed. I can take both of them and I'll just kill 1 this round and 1 the next.
All right.
Because the faster we can get progress on this one too, those other guys are not.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, Kanji.
Hey. Necrocomic-Con, hi.
Hello.
34, you don't look a day over 29. Ha ha ha.
Oh.
I'm many, many days over 29.
Beatles is here.
And many days over 34. Hi.
She raised her threat too high. She's almost out of the game.
Oh my god. Oh, okay.
Okay, defending.
Yep.
I will defend. To do my most damaged character for this guy.
Hi, Matt. And Matthew. Did I say hi to them? Oh, and
James. Hi to
James.
Matthew, but Matt.
James jumped in there as well.
Oh, hey, James. Yeah.
Sorry if we missed anyone. Angie, hi.
All right. Let's defend. No, I want to add money to his resource pool, and we don't lose him.
So leave this one undefended. Again, I have 3 that I will use if needed.
He hits for just 2.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this guy I have to defend first. I want to because I can choose who the defender is. If I let this guy hit somebody first, then this guy auto attacks them. So I'll go undefended on this one.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh, no. Sorry. I do this one first.
Yeah.
Sorry. This one I defend right here. And nothing. So 3 kills this guy. He gains a resource. That location's gone.
Mm-hmm.
This one I'll say undefended after the fact. Attack an enemy gets +1 attack for each quest stage and play with no progress on it.
I can pull you a different one if you want, unless you're okay with that. I don't know if you're putting this on Gimli and you want.
So I'll put it on Gimli anyway, so I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Because then he's at 1, 2, 3, and that'll put 3 on him, and that's not bad, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'll put it all on one hero. Your defense?
My defense. They're both the same. Let's do first defense here on this one. He's defending for 1. Nothing, so he takes 1 damage.
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry.
Oh, did we not say hi to Mike?
No, we did. No, earlier you were
I
like,
did.
Mike's here, but then
and
I
then you
didn't
forgot
realize he was already in. I missed his first message to see that he came in.
I see.
I'm sorry.
Every time, and I've said this to him.
I'm trying to run a show here.
I've said it to him before, and some of you will remember this show. Who watched the show? It was probably on. I don't even know.
The Romper Room one?
I don't even remember when they used to talk into that like
the mirror
thing, and they're like, "I see so and so,
Billy,
so and so."
I see Jimmy.
And you'd always watch like, "Are they gonna say my name? Can they see me?" That's what I feel like.
I don't know if that was like a Canadian-only kids show or something, but
we'll find out in a minute when people either say yeah or I have no idea.
I feel
what
like
you're
it was
talking about.
Romper Room, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
All right, while you're doing that, I'm going to defend here for the second attack. He defends for 2. Attacking enemy gets +1 for each quest without progress on it, so that would just be 1 damage, which is fine.
Yeah, it was Romper Room.
Oh yeah.
At the end of each broadcast, the hostess would look through a magic mirror, actually an open frame with a handle the size and shape of a hand mirror, and recite the rhyme: romper, bomper, stomper, boo. Tell me, do. Tell me, do.
I don't remember that. I just remember that it set off like 10 names every episode.
But maybe maybe we're mixing it up. I don't know.
No, I think they're agreeing with me here.
Oh, okay.
Romper, yeah.
I'm Mike's FFG.
Aw, that's sweet. Well, that's funny.
Gotta fix my eyebrows. It was Romper Room? Nice.
Yeah, okay, that's funny. That's what I think of when I'm like, oh, so-and-so's here.
I see Mike. I see Orbit. I see James. Oh, Buell. Sorry, Buell.
I definitely wasn't a teen. I don't know when that was. When was that show? I was a kid.
Well, it was on for like 1953 to 1994 in all different versions and countries and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's funny.
But I don't know when they did the mirror thing. I'm feeling like it was an 80s thing.
Yeah,
but
I feel like it was an 80s thing.
my parents sent in my name to be announced on my birthday.
Oh, that's
cool.
Sweet. That they could do that here on a television station that we have.
Yeah.
And people
or
used
the
to do that.
newspaper and
Like,
stuff.
yeah.
If anyone knows what that is.
Yeah. One of our local stations.
Matt says, I don't remember Romper Room too well. We had a wood-burning TV, so reception wasn't great.
Yeah, that's sad.
Just staring at the fireplace.
Oh my God. These streams, wow. They're always so funny.
Oh, man.
Yeah, don't get too close. Burn your eyes.
Back in my day, we used to just play with puppets. We'd sit around and watch puppet shows.
Oh my gosh, it's your attack when you're ready. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Carl. That sucks. All right, what are we doing?
Your attack whenever you're ready.
Perfect. I'm hitting for 7 on... We're gonna have to take this guy out.
Yeah, because this guy,
I won't get an extra resource.
This guy won't be bad next round, right? Because
I know,
ideally we'll put progress
but this
here.
guy will start attacking Gimli, and I don't need that.
Yeah, that is bad.
So kill that guy. I don't get a resource because it wasn't an orc.
Okay, and then I will use Thorin to just kill this one, which will place 1 progress token on your current quest. So that'll go back up to 6. And then I get to draw a card because he was an orc. Oh, already all dwarfs. Oh, no, I don't want to do that now. Just to kill one guy. All right. Ready? I don't think it's worth it to pay 3 to just kill one guy. If you hadn't gone.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
right?
yeah, true. Okay. So end of the round, I'm gonna get a card random discarded on my hand. It's the only card I have.
Oh yeah. Please take the Bilbo card when you randomly discard one. I don't think we need it right now. Oh, okay, that's so funny.
So thread up by 1.
Thread up by 1.
I'll draw.
Are we supposed to pick before we draw too? Because it says before we collect resources.
Oh yeah, before resources.
But I think we're just gonna go to this one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I stop it from losing the cards in hand, even though I probably won't have any at the end of the round. But okay, resource phase. Oh, I got another dwarf. Sweet. And I'll start drawing cards finally.
1, and then he gets 2 because I have 5 dwarfs. Oh, I got shadow cancel. I need some guys. Where's my guys?
You have them all on the table.
That's not all I got.
We're in play. Like I'm struggling over here. I need one more dwarf to get my card draw going, and I can afford one now. But I got to make sure they don't die.
Okay.
I need some locations instead of enemies showing up.
I know.
Or even I'll take even a treachery maybe.
Yeah, treachery I can cancel. I'll take a treachery.
Okay, you play cards, and when you're done, you tell me, and I'll play cards.
I'm just gonna
play my card.
I'm just gonna do this.
I'll empty my hands.
For 2 resources. Okay, go ahead. All my stuff is after.
Veteran Axe Hand. Played. Done.
If you want to go all in on this quest, I'm gonna, and then I'll ready everyone. So everyone will be standing at the end.
This is willpower.
This is willpower. So this is a regular quest.
Well, I have guys that won't even go in. So 1,
I'm going 2, all in.
3, 4, 5, 6.
6.
Yep.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Actually, I will
14,
put in this
15,
guy just in case it switches it on us.
16, 17.
And he's a dwarf, and you'll ready him.
Yeah.
So I figure if it switches to attack or defense, I'll add some in.
Okay, so we're at 17. And then I think I have an action window here while we're in this, right?
Yeah, all between. Yep,
okay, so I'll spend 3 to ready all dwarfs, which for me is everyone but Bilbo.
Okay. You got all the number down of all of our stuff?
17.
Here we go. We get a Gundabad Archer, which is a goblin, so it will surge when revealed. Each player must deal 2 damage to a character he controls.
Okay, so let's put a damage on him because Thalin was in the quest, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's put 2 damage.
I'll put it on Thalin, actually.
I don't kill any of those guys. I guess we're going to put it here. No. Put it here. Okay.
So he surges into a Gundabad Wolf Rider, Goblin Orc, forced when this enemy attacks or move on progress from the current quest. That's lame.
Okay.
And then the hopefully last card. Yeah!
Oh, nice.
Misty Mountains Eagle. Okay, I love this. This is my favorite thing in the whole Saga expansions. I love this little guy who they didn't pull out and put him aside, and you have to rescue him or do something to get him. He's just hiding in the deck and randomly just shows up. So if he shows up as a shadow card, he will deal 3 damage to attacking enemy, which is like so thematic, like the eagle's just coming to help out of nowhere kind of thing. So cool. Or when he's in the staging area, he just chills there. And the first player may spend 2 Baggins resources to choose one, either take control of the Misty Mountain Eagle or discard him. So he could come back around to discard a non-unique enemy in the staging area. So you can just have him like grab an orc and take off with him, or grab a warg and just fly away, which I think is super funny. But I just love stuff like this that I completely, every time he's shown up, I forgot he was in there. And that I love. It's just like that little dopamine hit of like, yay, like the Eagles showed up. Like, that's a win right there. That's a win.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think I'll
Mel doesn't care because she's not into the whole Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings and stuff.
I care. I care. It's a 3 cost.
But the Eagles showed up.
3/3/3 ally for us. I'm down.
Yay, the Eagles are here.
Do you want me to let you take him?
I don't care. Whatever. Who cares?
I didn't do this yet.
I do have more space on my half of the map to hold him.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I don't like birds anyway, so you can have them.
It's all good.
Okay, so we are at 2, 4.
Oh, did you add another one to Bilbo? We probably should, right?
I did not, but I didn't want to raise my threat yet.
But if one of those locations shows up, which it didn't yet.
No.
Oh, okay. We just kind of want to have thought of it in advance so we have the money there to actually travel to it.
I still can do it.
Those ones, like, there's one location for each one of these quests that is in the deck, and it has a forest, whether it's in the staging area or in the active, it will keep removing 2 off of the specific quest it's tied to.
We may have seen one as a shadow.
Oh,
I think
okay,
I
but
saw
still.
one, but yeah.
But so why I'm telling Mel to get resources on Bilbo is because you need to spend, I think, 3 to travel to it if you're not on the quest that it aligns to. But you can spend 1 to travel to it.
So my intent was to wait.
No, we haven't seen any of them yet.
Okay, my intent was to wait because my threat is Oh, it already is 35. I thought it was under 35. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
I can do it now. Then that's fine.
I would appreciate it.
Yeah, I can do it.
Just so we can travel to one of those, so it's not draining
36.
one of our things. Like,
yeah, no, that's fine.
if we have the option.
That's fine. Okay, so we are at 17.
Plus, you do have the threat lowering cards in your deck,
I just haven't seen them yet.
Okay, just making sure.
They are there, yes,
Okay.
100%.
Just want to make sure that you're covered if you do it. Like, it's better that you raise your threat than me, but
yeah, because also
I'm
if I can
still
play
low.
more
I'm
dwarfs,
only at 31.
I have
so.
multiple dwarfs that will lower my threat as well when I see them. 2, 4, 5.
Okay.
Wow.
So we're up 12. Okay, drop it on there.
I don't have enough dice.
You might want to use the tokens instead for this one. We can save this for the location or something.
Yeah. Do you have a 5 on your side?
Nope, I have 0 of those tokens on my side. That's why I was waiting for you to do it.
Oh, I do have.
Yeah, they're in there.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
So we have 12 on this one, which is a nice buffer. We're now not going to remove cards from our hand at the end of the round. Not that it matters to me, but.
All right. Where we're at. So optional engagement.
Both already have an enemy.
Yeah.
This will come in.
Is there one that you would prefer? It doesn't matter to me really, because...
You want to grab this guy now to start getting his help. You like spend it and do it.
Yeah? I didn't know if you wanted him.
No, get him.
Okay.
Because if it'll help us get rid of some of these enemies, like he attacks for 3, right? So
yeah, I'm going to just use him as a defense.
Unless you'd want to save the money there, and or sorry, you still spend the money, but if you just want to discard him to get rid of.
No, I'd rather, because while we have everybody ready, I think we're able to defend and still attack these guys and get rid of them ourselves.
True, then maybe you don't need him yet. I don't know.
But I could just use him as a defense for this guy.
Exactly. So, yeah, whatever. If you want to take that guy, take this guy. Because you have ways of putting progress if you're killing dudes. And,
yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Shadow cards, if you will.
This one, and this one, and this one, and this one.
All right. Let's do this one first. I will defend for 3.
The eagles are coming. The eagles are coming.
Nothing. Okay, so he blocks it all.
Okay.
This guy is going to attack for 2. I will defend here for 2. Nothing. Okay, so no hits on my side. Go ahead.
I'll defend Defender Vermoss against this one.
That's one of them.
Yep. No, this is a hidden path.
Oh, spend 2 resources.
Yeah, this is the one we've seen before in other scenarios. Make sure you don't have the guy that like gets extra. This one we didn't do probably when he attacks.
Oh.
I know there's like stuff.
Sorry.
And then this one attacks for just 1 now, right? Because he doesn't get all the buffs because they all have stuff on them. So you need to hit back for 4 here, which this guy can cover this. This one you need to hit back for 3, which I can cover there. So I will defend here. Please don't kill my dwarf. Please don't kill my dwarf.
I can.
Nope, you didn't kill my dwarf. Okay, blocked. Okay, attack.
Attack.
Kill them all.
This one I need 3. This one I also need 3. So he is going to attack. Are they both orcs? Yeah, he's going to attack here. This guy's dead. We put 1 progress on the current quest. And then I guess draw a card. Okay. And then we need 3. So we got 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
That's this guy's dead.
Now I'll use Gimli to kill this guy. Gimli will gain a resource from his attachment treasure. And then these 2 guys will just kill this one.
Awesome.
Okay, end of the round, ready up.
I assume we go to the lowest one.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah?
Battle in the Dale, so attack,
Okay.
sure.
So raise threat.
I do have 5 dwarfs now, so I'm drawing 2,
Draw a card.
gaining resources.
Cram again. Okay. 1, 2.
I'm going to put a Blade of Gondolin on Gimli. And I'm going to play a Gondorian Spearman and pass to you. And you put a resource on this guy?
I just did, yeah.
Okay, oh, I'll raise my threat, actually. And then I'm going to put a resource on him. And we only need Okay, I'm going to spend one actually and grab a treasure because we only need one if it lines up with our thing, right?
Yep.
And we already seen 2 hidden paths, so I don't think we need 2 for that.
Requesting with what? Requesting with attack. So we're going to put a cram on here again in case we need him to attack.
And I'm pretty sure. Yep, I need to take Thoror's bow.
All right.
And I'm going to put that on. Let's throw that on Thalin. Actually, do you have a hero that can attack range?
No.
Okay, I'll just do it here. Yep. Actually, I'll throw it here. Okay. Questing on it's which one?
Attack.
Attack. So let's go. Throw Gimli in there for 5, 6, 7. Throw Thalin in there for 2. Throw Bilbo in there for 2 more. So 4, 7. That's 11.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll throw a Veteran Axe Hand for another 2. So we're at 13. So 13. Maybe go light so you can defend and attack if like 3 enemies show up again.
Yep. 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm just going to put him in.
Oh, yeah, I need to shuffle. That's what it's there for.
I do have a cram on him if I need him, so. But I may not. All right.
Quest flip. Uh-oh. Big boys are showing up. We found the bodyguard of Bolg. Bolg cannot take damage. 2 threat, 4 attack, 2 defense, 5 health. Forced, when this enemy attacks, deal an additional shadow card for each quest stage and play with no progress tokens on it.
So right now that doesn't
So
matter.
that's none of them because they all have progress on them for now.
Fallon is in, right?
Yeah.
So.
He gets Surge. Surges into an... Oh, there's another hidden path. Okay, so we could spend 2 to travel here from Bilbo, but he only has 1. I didn't think there were any more of these left. But this, when it's active, it can reduce the threat of all locations in the staging area, which is none right now, but that one. And then the last card, hopefully, there's one of them. The front gate. So this is the one that is tied to 2B. So our first quest here on the far left. This one says force, remove 2 progress from stage B at the end of each round if able. So to travel here, this is why I saved 1 resource on Bilbo, because he can travel here if we were at 2B, but this isn't the one that we're at, unless we get moved, but that's not happening anymore either.
No, 'cause that's our last card.
So this one we have to have 3 Baggins resources to travel there. So unfortunately, 2B is going to remove at the end of the round, but this is the one we have extra buffer on, so
yeah,
we'll see. Okay.
Sorry, so 4. Oh, sorry, he reduces him to 1, right?
Reduces what?
This is, well, hidden path.
This is only when the active,
oh,
when it's up here, remember it moves, reduces locations. The one we've seen in like, it's going to keep using it over and over again.
Okay, so it doesn't affect anything. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yep. And from what's our total?
18, so we're up 9.
So 9
this
here.
One?
Yep.
I'll just put 9, 3,
So
6,
13
9.
total?
Here, okay.
13 total.
I don't have any more 5s though, so I'm just adding 3s.
We can just do 2 6s and a 1 little token.
Okay.
I don't know.
That works. Okay.
Travel.
We cannot, unfortunately.
Okay. Enemy. Doesn't matter.
Does not matter.
He hits for 4. I have a guy that defends for 4.
Okay, if you're fine with that.
But attacking though is the problem. Let me think. Or do you have a way?
I would just defend with this guy. He can die, and then I can attack for.
Oh, you have way more guys to attack. I just put in Gimli on this one to try to really progress it. But
I can.
I can defend against him with this guy.
I also have Cram, and I can ready him, but I don't think we need to put. Yeah, we don't need to put any.
Yeah, you go. You have more attack strength right now, readied.
Okay, and he's just going to get 1 shadow card because there's no quest with nothing. I'm going to defend with the guard. If this attack destroys a character, remove all progress from the current quest. I will draw another shadow card, please.
Your new shadow card is deal 1 damage to defending character for each quest stage in play with no progress on it, which is 0.
Okay, but he still dies from that attack, so I think you get a bonus from a death of a character.
Benefiting from your failure.
5, 6 I need. So 3, 4, 5, 6.
Boom.
Kills him.
End of the round, ready up. Pass first player. Thread up by 1.
I
Okay.
assume we're going to go to this last one to
Yes.
hopefully complete that
I
one.
still have 5 dwarfs. So I will draw 2. Gain resources.
1, 2, 3, 4. Did I put one on Bilbo? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh,
Nope.
did we remove the 2 at the end of the round from this?
Nope.
Boom. Remove progress. Now it's only a 2 buffer here.
But I think we're going to be okay here.
Well, unless 2 of those guys show up that... Oh, no, that's still good, right? Yeah. If 2 of those guys show up that remove off all of them.
And I can put
Yeah, that's
him
true.
into the quest for this one to get rid of that, which
Okay, cool.
I think we can overquest
So are
this
you done
one.
planning?
Yeah, I don't have anything I can play.
Okay. I'll play another Defender of Ramas. And I'll hold a feint in hand. And go.
Okay.
Questing.
Questing with defense?
Defense.
All right, so if that's the case, we're going to put in this guy.
I can put 8 in at
3.
least.
We're going to put him in for 4 or 5, which will put 1 progress on each.
Oh, yeah.
But it can't do anything with this one because it's immune to player card effects.
Oh, yeah.
But that's gone. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 9, 10. I'll put in 10.
I don't know, that's probably crazy. I'll put in a 6.
Yeah, 16.
First card's not released, Jerk Faces.
Okay.
So you get Surge. Uh-oh. When revealed, each enemy engaged with the player makes immediate attack. Do not deal shadow cards for attacks made by this effect. If no attacks are made by this effect, you're lucky. This card gains Surge. So just let it go.
Yeah. I
Surge.
think we're okay right now.
Another Northern Slopes. We're going in circles. We've found the Northern Slopes again. Whoops.
Okay.
So while this is in the staging area, all these guys get +1. All the goblins, sorry, get +1 attack and defense.
Okay.
Okay, and then the last card, hopefully, is the bats. We're gonna die to Thalon. Pew.
Okay, so we only need to be up 2, and we have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we had 16, so we're definitely more than enough.
So
we're
right
at
then,
7.
So all these are completed.
Yep.
So at the same time, they all have more than 8 on them each. So, or 8 or more, I should say. So they all get completed. The clouds burst. When revealed, each player must search the encounter deck and discard pile for a copy of Bodyguard of Bolg and add it to the staging area if able. Shuffle the encounter deck. So we already have 1 in play, so we gotta get another one. We already defeated 1. Progress cannot be placed on this stage. It doesn't have a value here either. While Bolg is in the staging area, is considered engaged with the first player. So now this guy is decided to step down from the mountain or whatever and get to into the battle. So he's going to be fighting the first player. And we got to, oh yeah, I should read the last part. If Bolg is destroyed, the players win the game. So we have to defeat this guy who's been sitting in the staging the whole time, basically commanding his forces, sending goblins at us.
I should have left one more guy standing for that.
Whoopsie. That's why I didn't go crazy in, because it looked like we were about to go in.
No, I know. I'll if I have to lose 1 hero, I'm okay, I think.
1 hero?
Well, because I might have to take... I'm
your first
38,
player.
right? As first player, he's attacking me. I'm going to have to take definitely at least 1 of these guys, if not 2. Because we have to search for...
But you knew we were...
I know, I said that's what I'm saying. I should have left 1 more, but I think it's okay. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay. I do have a Sentinel guy.
Oh, okay. So maybe that will help.
Yeah, I have Sentinel guys. Okay. So that's there. We gotta get our... I'm gonna look in the deck, actually. I'm just gonna grab one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna shuffle the deck of those cards.
Okay. Well, I have the cancel when revealed for that one. Oh, it's gonna come up as a shadow card anyways.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Shuffle, 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 whatever. Okay. And then we'll grab one out of there.
Okay.
Okay. Shuffle the encounter deck. Okay.
Do we want to travel? We probably want to travel to this one, right? So all these guys aren't getting extra.
Yeah. That sounds like a superb plan.
Thanks. Okay, yeah, we don't need that anymore. All right. So technically,
So you're first player. Do
If
you want
I-
to optionally engage? So this guy's engaging with you. We'll do this, but we'll keep putting him back though.
Sure.
But he is in the staging area right now. But he's actually engaged with you.
yeah.
He's considered to be engaged
yeah.
with you from the staging area.
So
We'll just do that for visual.
there's no way around. I'm getting 2 of the. Oh, what is your threat? Yeah.
I have 34. So I can optionally take 1.
And
But then the other
one
2 are
is
going to.
one is forced to me, and then one will be forced. What are you? Sorry?
Yeah,
34?
34.
Oh, yeah, because they're both. Yeah, so there's no difference. So 2 are coming to me no matter what. Okay.
And the problem is when this enemy attacks, deal an additional shadow card for each quest stage in play with no progress on it. This one has no progress on it, and you can't put progress on it. So this guy's they're all getting 2 cards.
There's only 3 shadow cards left.
Oh yeah, true.
So I think we will be good. And I can cancel and make.
I do have a feint in hand too, so I can stop something from attacking.
Oh.
Yeah, so we got some pressure, like we can hold off, but but every round there's gonna be more guys showing up, so it's like, yeah.
I know.
Okay.
I just don't have bodies.
So let's continue on.
So I'm first. If you'll pass me 1 shadow card here.
Yep.
And then 2 on the last 2 on one of these guys. They both get an additional. Okay.
This guy doesn't have one.
All right. So this guy's attacking for 6.
You can defend in whichever order you want. You choose a guy and defend.
Yeah. I want to defend with that guy. That will kill him. Yeah, we're gonna defend the strongest attack first.
I can't stop that guy from attacking.
Nope, that's fine. We're gonna just let.
But I can stop one of the other ones if you need. Just say the word.
If the defending character is destroyed by this attack, the controller must raise its threat by 5. I will discard and draw another shadow card.
Oh, I can't. There's none.
Okay. So he just dies. So you get a resource.
Horn of Gondor.
Okay. This guy's attacking for 4.
You have a 5 resource over there?
I do.
5.
4. He defends for 2. 2 is going to come through at least. I can.
Again, when you want me to use feint, you just tell me and I'll use feint.
I know, I'm just trying to decide. I think it might be this one.
I also can defend with this guy to deal a damage back to somebody.
I can.
You just tell me. I got cards. You just say, Rob, use the cards. I'll use the cards.
Okay.
You just tell me.
Rob, use the cards, but.
Which one? On which?
On this one.
Which? Feint or Gondorian Spearman? What do you want?
Gondorian Spearman. I don't think we need.
Gondorian Spearman. Defend. Deal a damage.
I don't think we need a feint.
Plow.
Attach this card. I can cancel and draw a new shadow card.
You're allowed to do that. Once per attack or once per round?
Once per attack.
Sure.
Okay. And he did 4 damage to you. Sorry, that's okay.
Whatever.
Okay. And then this one I can take the attack because he's hitting for 4 and he's defending, so only 2 will get through.
Maybe, but can you attack with that guy? Like, does he do any good hitting?
He does one hit.
But does that equal like an enemy dead versus not dead?
Well, I'm only attacking with this guy.
Again, does that guy lead to a guy dying? Or do you need this guy's extra attack to actually defeat an enemy?
6. This guy hits for 6. He could kill here.
Okay, so if you can take out an enemy and he doesn't change that math, then that's fine.
So he's just going to do 2 damage to him.
Okay.
I'm going to change that to a 3, sorry.
All right, I'm going to defend here for 4. This guy attacks, whatever gets blocked. Okay, attack time.
All right, so he's attacking for 3, 4, 5, 6.
I do have this guy here, actually. Sorry, I forgot about my ranged hero, who actually attacks for 4.
4?
But that's not enough to plus the 1 to take this guy out, right? That doesn't make a difference.
No.
Okay, never mind.
No, but this guy can attack here, and that will kill him. He's attacking for 6, and he only blocks 2. So.
Okay, so as part of the attack on this guy, I'll hit for 4. So if you want to put 2 damage on him.
Okay, and then sorry, I get to put a progress on the current quest, which would go here. Oops.
And then Gimli
and I get to draw a card.
Whack here. Gimli will take this guy out.
Oh,
5,
good. That's
6,
the one
7,
that died.
8. 8 is enough. Boom. Gimli gains a resource.
Okay. So then he's going back to the staging area. Bobo is coming to you.
Threat goes up. Draw. And resources.
Oh, here we go. Finally, he's come to the party. Resources. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Pass on planning.
Okay, I can actually do things now. I'm going to play Orc Slayer for 4. You put 1 damage on each orc enemy in play. 1.
That's it.
Oh, you killed that guy. Oh, I thought you had the guy. Never mind. Sorry. Well, even so. Okay, sure. Sorry.
So much damage.
So much damage. We're gonna play Feely for 3.
Emmy is correct. I keep forgetting I don't normally have lore resources sitting on this guy, but I did have an airborne record keeper readied, which I could have used to. But he couldn't do a second attack. So there's really no point unless. Yeah. Oh, you do have a guy in front of you, but he already attacked him. So yeah, it doesn't really work this round because. Yeah, it didn't matter. Because even with your guy plus him attacking, it's like Thane still kills. So yeah, it doesn't help this turn, I don't think, unless I'm missing something. But yeah, I do need, that's what airborne record keepers are in here for.
I could have.
Oh, you have a cram?
I have a cram attached to him. I forgot. We can do that.
So you could have just attacked your other guy and
But I would have killed, yeah, because I would have killed him. I would have killed him on my own. So
right?
I would have added one.
Yeah. You hit for 7 at least?
I hit for.
And he had 1 damage on him?
He had 1 damage on him.
I don't think that one did though.
He had 2. I just put this on.
Because I hit him with this guy. That's why he had 2 on it.
Yeah, but then I could have added in him.
Oh, okay, then he would have died?
And he would have died.
Yeah, okay.
And then I would have been able to put 1 more progress on here, and I would have had 1 more card.
I didn't realize you had cram sitting there.
I didn't even realize either. Okay, sorry. Woo. We're there. And then this guy's dead.
Pro players.
This guy's dead. So that means that we can now attack this guy. Okay. Okay.
All right.
All right. And then
Questing.
I'll just add 2 more resources in case I need.
So in the staging area, we have 4.
And we're questing regular, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So,
throw Bilbo in because I'll give him 2 extra.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Remember, he's also attacking you this round.
That is all.
5?
5.
5, 6, 7, 8. Can't do that with that. 8. Let's just do. I need some bodies. 9, 10, 11. And I can make Bilbo +2 if we need. But I think that might be good. I also have 2 cancel when revealed. So.
Good?
Yep.
Oh, is this the one that changes it? Which doesn't matter anymore?
Oh, but
Doom 3.
If I cancel
and it surges.
this, I'm going to cancel it.
Okay, so it surges though still, I think.
But we don't do Doom 3, right?
Correct.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you cancel the when revealed text. Okay, and this guy will surge. He's the first orcidy orc. Remove 1 progress from every. Oh no, you removed all the progress.
So that was the surge from
card number 1. It's done.
Yeah.
Card number 2.
Oh.
Oh yeah, this guy attacks the most damage. Ooh, yeah, this guy's a little rough, but oh well. We just have to kill this guy.
Yep.
Which we can now because all the bodyguards are gone and a new bodyguard didn't show up. So in this scenario, there's 4 of those bodyguards that when they're in play, they protect this guy from taking damage. They're all gone. I was worried another one would show up after we shuffled, but none of them showed up. So we can just take this guy out and we win.
Yep. But let's see, do we quest enough? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We did 11. So we're up 3. So 1 goes here, and then.
Oh, did any characters die? Oh yeah, there's no progress. Never mind. Never mind.
And then 2 go here. Not that it really matters.
But... No, you can't put any there.
Oh, you can't put. Oh, okay. Travel. Do we want to spend?
Sure.
Whatever we need. 3.
Yeah, we don't care about victory, but we'll just get it out of there. Sure. Done.
Okay. And then enemies.
All right, I'm first player. I am definitely, this guy's with me, but optional engagement.
Don't take this guy because I don't want you to lose Gimli.
But I can feint him.
Then sure, take that guy. But you can take him on my side too.
I can feint him wherever, but
so, oops.
Who should I? Like, look at your attacks. Who can you kill for sure, you know? Like, or take their hit at least.
Well,
because I'm literally just like, gotta make sure I kill this guy. That's all.
I'm just gonna let him die.
So for this guy, He needs to be hit for, he's 8 health, 3 defense, so 11. Gimli hits for 5, 6, 7, 8 because he's an orc. So I'll do Erebor Record Keeper. And we'll ready up, I guess, this guy. And yeah, I should have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and like 11. So I have enough to kill this guy, but then it's like the defense on top of that.
Well, I
will just take this one, I guess. I don't know. And you take somebody, and then one of them will come at me. I don't know. Like, whatever.
Okay. Because then you're going to faint that guy.
Or should I? Yes. Okay. So let's go Shadow.
I think I actually should have one less purple resource because I think I didn't have 5 dwarfs last time. Because I just played Feely.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Defend time.
You can also feint your own if you need to, so that...
I'm going to defend against this guy's attack for 6 with a defender of Ramos. If defending character is destroyed by this attack, its controller raises its threat by 5. Sure, whatever. Nothing. So he definitely kills this guy because he defends for 4. Only has 1 health. Boom, he's gone. More money that I don't need. All right. This one's only attacking for 2. I need this.
Yeah, feint one of your own attacks. Don't worry about this guy.
This guy. But this one I'm going to deal with. I'm just counting up. I think these two together can just take care of him. So I will defend Hia for 4. Attacking enemy is +1 attack for each quest stage and play with no progress on it, which is 1.
Oh, you can draw another one.
Sure. Deal 1 damage to defending a character for each quest stage and play with no progress on it. Oh no.
Is he dying? What is it? Each character?
Oh no.
What does that say? Sorry, I didn't understand what you said.
For each quest, the same thing, the same text, the quest stage and play with.
But it's going to each character?
No.
That's something I don't know what you said.
Deal 1 damage to defending character for each quest stage and play with no progress tokens on it.
But he's dying anyways, right?
No, he would fully defend it.
I'll cancel
if he literally took his damage, he dies.
I'll cancel it. I just didn't know. I didn't know what was
happening. He only has 1 health, but he's got 4 defense. It's okay. It doesn't really matter. That's why.
No, it's fine.
So he's getting another one?
No, that was canceled. I fully canceled.
Oh, you fully canceled.
Yeah.
Whoopsie. I'll shuffle. Pretend we didn't see that.
That's okay.
Keely died, just like the book.
I know. I just played Keely, so.
Then I'm going to feint to stop him from attacking. I'll just get rid of his shadow card. It's cleaner. Cleaning up the board.
And yep, we're defending with Keely. Nothing. So Keely takes 1 and he's dead.
Boom. More money. All right. Attack time. Gimli plus Ori. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Blocks for 3. Has only 8 health. Boom.
Perfect.
Dead. And because Bulg just died, players win the game. We win.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, literally this scenario, like those extra resources at the beginning on easy mode is literally changes the scenario so much. Just being able to get through those first few rounds by actually playing things on the table and not getting overwhelmed by enemies. Like, yeah, even though we had a start with the enemies, they're pretty rough. Just having extra bodies to like block, deal with stuff, get through the quest. But like I said, we were playing it on hard regular mode multiple times. Just literally the first turn, go looking at your hand and going, I can't really play anything. And then you lose all your resources at the end of the round and you get cards plucked out of your hand and you add more enemies to the staging area at the end of the round. It just like, before you know it, you can't even quest on willpower, attack, or defense. You're getting no points on any of those cards. You're just getting overwhelmed by enemies.
Yeah.
You're just scooping after like 2 or 3 rounds. If you don't have the cards or the draw or the luck of the shuffles sometimes. This is a challenging quest.
It is.
It's a cool one.
Yeah, I like having the multiple quests to choose from in the beginning, But again, yeah, with the surge
Yeah.
and the starting with 2
obviously 4
cards in
players.
play.
Yeah, if you can get 4 players together to play this one, I'm sure it's like awesome. Like it's not
Yeah.
as bad when he surges on the first orc and you're only getting 1 extra enemy.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. But when you're only like 2 players playing like with limited card pool and the same dwarfs you started the campaign with and not maybe the best dwarfs for the scenario, it's a little hard.
They're fun dwarfs though, I think.
I like what
fun.
you're doing. I agree. This is fun. And it's cool not to just play like Dane as like we used to do back in the day when we milled a dwarf deck or played any dwarfs at the table. Someone was always playing Dane. And it was kind of cool this one, even though we have him, to just not play with him. And like, unfortunately, we didn't get the starter decks in time or anything to at the beginning of the campaign anyway. I just wanted to start it without waiting. But if you're playing this now and you're new to the game, grab the starter decks. There's a dwarf starter deck. You'll get some awesome dwarf heroes in there. You'll get a bunch of dwarf cards. The funny thing is a bunch of the dwarf cards are actually from this expansion, which is why people think they're not really going to reprint this one. So the Hobbit sagas, I didn't realize there's a lot of cards from the Hobbit sagas in those starter decks. And like they said, they took cards from the sets they don't plan on reprinting anytime soon, is kind of what they did. So unfortunately, hopefully they keep printing the Hobbit saga boxes, like, you know, keep printing the existing ones, but they're not going to repackage them, which kind of sucks. I didn't realize that back when we started the scenario, but.
Well, we have the updated Nori in the starter deck.
I don't know if he's in the starter deck.
You don't have to look. I can look after.
But, yeah.
It's all good.
I think he is because that's who I clicked on originally, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, he's in the Dwarves of Durin.
Okay. So we'll get the updated version then.
Yeah, the Dwarves of Durin. Here's the Dwarves of Durin starter deck. And if we... I don't know how we see heroes. Roll right here. You get Dane Ironfoot, who is... Well, Dane Ironfoot is ready. And get this, not dwarf heroes. Dwarf characters at the table. So if you're playing 4 players and everyone's got some dwarfs in their deck, you know, allies or heroes or whatever, they're all getting +1 attack, +1 willpower. So when you're fighting or you're questing on a battle quest or you're questing normally with willpower, yeah, Dane just helps a lot. Like he kind of puts it in a little bit of an easier time just for what he's doing. And he's not too shabby himself with 2 attack, 3 defense, and 5 health. So he can stand while questing's going on, and then kind of if he needs to get in there during the combat, he can. But
especially if you're not the first player.
Imagine him with like the unexpected courage too, so you can like use him to defend, but then ready him like right back up, so he's still giving the bonus to everybody like after.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And then it's got Ori, the one that I'm using to get extra card draw, my lore hero, and it has Biffer, who is a threat 7. To what's this guy? Pay 1 resource from a hero's resource pool and add 1 resource to Biffer's resource pool. Any player may trigger this ability, so you can give him extra money.
Oh, that's cool.
And what?
Oh, it's down.
Oh, right here, the sideboard, right? I think. Because remember, they give you more cards than you need in the original deck. They give you a bunch of sideboard cards you can like shuffle in, switch in, change up your cards, change up your hero, your class, I guess, or your sphere. Yeah, so after you play a dwarf character from your hand.
So they realized he was broken.
Whenever these starter decks show up in Canada, yes, we will replace our better version of Nori with that one.
It's okay. I did play with him correctly after.
But when Carl's not watching, we're playing with this one, and we're going to rock it. Mel's going to be pulling in Keeleys and Feelies and getting threat reduction all day. I'm just joking, Carl. Thank you so much for pointing that out, though.
Yeah, thank you.
That's funny. Like, nobody said anything the whole time we've been doing it. That's so funny. Nobody noticed. We've been...
Well, I guess it would only be people that are playing with the new cards, right?
Well, no. If it got an errata in the original...
Oh, okay.
I don't know when that errata happened.
Yeah.
I don't know if Chad's still here, knows, but yeah, I'm not sure when the errata got laid down. I don't have a record of all the FAQ versions or whatever.
Matthew's asking, does Dane give himself the bonus too? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because he would. Because
or does it say other?
It says when he's ready.
No, he gets it. Yeah, he gets it. Yep. It just says dwarf characters. Yes. So he would get it.
As long as you don't exhaust him, right?
If it said other dwarf characters gain it, then it wouldn't be him. But it specifically says, while Dane Ironfoot is ready, dwarf characters get it, and he does have the dwarf trait, so he would get it. Yes. Yes. Unless he got errated, and then no, I'm assuming that's the latest and greatest. But yeah. So that was it. That was our Hobbit Saga playthrough series. Yeah, some of them we did on easy. Some of them we completely overhauled our decks. That was super fun. It was cool getting back into the old, style of the game before they did the proper like campaign mode. So right now with Lord of the Rings, the card game on the channel, I wish we had the starter decks already. Not the end of the world. We don't have them. When they show up, I would like to take them and play them in like maybe a standalone scenario or try some of them out just to give them a run. So maybe we'll pull out the Battle of Lake Town Gen Con scenario that we would have played during this saga. It's not technically part of the saga, but obviously it's part of the Hobbit story. It came out around that time. It's a really challenging one. So like maybe it's not the best way to try out the starter decks, but I don't know. I'll figure it out. If anyone has any suggestions of if you were just to do a stream playing a standalone or a single scenario with the starter decks, like I don't want to go back to the core set, play through a core set campaign with them, but I debated that. Just a way to try them. I just want to see how these decks work, try them out on some of the earlier content. The Battle of Lake Town or whatever, maybe is not the best example because I'm trying to stay like new player 2022 friendly for people who can only find like revised core sets, starter decks, the repackaged stuff. I don't know if the two of starter decks work well together, if we can tweak them to make two solid two-player decks, like I'm sure playing all four of those decks together probably covered a lot of bases and you probably could handle lots of scenarios and stuff. But my fear is that when you're just playing solo or two-player with them, maybe one single starter deck doesn't give you enough tools to cover all the weaknesses kind of idea that a larger card pool would.
I could see that.
Because they are starter decks, right? They are meant to give you a taste and make you want to buy more, technically, is what the whole idea of that is, I'm sure. But it's just like, is there more player cards to grab right now, right? Until we get some reprints of some of these cycles and get more player cards in the pool, it's what it is, right? But I just want to try those products out, just like I did for Arkham Horror LCG starter decks. It was fun to just take those and play some standalone scenarios and try them out.
Yeah.
So I probably will do that just to see how they work, try some of the cards. And then what we'll do is try the same scenario maybe, or a different scenario with like the other two. Yeah, or we can mix and match them however. But I just want to give a few playthroughs with those starter decks in. So when those show up, watch for that. Again, if you have any suggestions or watching this later, drop in the comments below of a specific scenario. We'll see if we have it. I don't want to do anything that's like too far in the future. We only have again up to roughly up to like 2015, 2016, I think, of content. So I think the last Gen Con thing we have is from 2015 maybe for the standalone scenarios. So if you know what those all are. Oh, no, you know what we do?
What?
I just remembered, I even figured this out before. We do the Dark of Mirkwood as its own little 2 scenario thing. Yes. So that's from the limited starter set that was repackaged. Yes, I remember we played those through with the extending the core set campaign, but you also can play those as a standalone little 2 scenario campaign. So maybe we just do that with the starter decks.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the answer. Because that's new content that people can actually get a hold of. It's out and available. So we're not playing like misprinted old Hobbit boxes that may or may not show up ever again for people to get. I'd prefer to play with stuff that like people can actually find. So yeah.
Yeah, that works.
And yes, Agmar Awakened Cycle is the first reprint, yes. But again, I don't know when that's going to show up ever. They said a summer release or something. June or July is the standalone or the placeholder dates. Who knows when we'll get that in Canada, but when we get it, I don't want to sit on the starter decks if they ever show up. I don't want to wait till that long to play with them, so we'll see. I remember the Battle of Lake Town was fun, but just very hard. So I don't know if the starter decks are up to the task, but we will play that at some point, I'm sure. We're going to play through a bunch of the Lord of the Rings stuff on the channel, so make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for that. We're going to keep playing this game on the channel here and there. But again, I'm trying a new thing where we kind of focus on one LCG, cooperative LCG at a time. So we just got the Marvel Champions
Sinister Motives.
Sinister Motives. campaign box. I do want to play through that, so we'll probably play through that a bit while we wait for the Lord of the Rings starter decks to show up. And at some point, we're going to jump back to Arkham Horror, play like one of the campaigns we haven't played. Maybe we'll do that later this year. Obviously, around Halloween, I'm assuming in October, we'll play one of them for sure. I probably will play one before that, but I'm not sure. It just depends. We'll kind of just go with the flow. And then when they release Agmar Awakens, we'll, play that with Lord of the Rings. And then, Marvel Champions, next campaign box, we'll play that. Play some of those scenarios. We're going to keep jumping around between the cooperative LCGs, but I kind of want to just focus on one at a time and kind of go back to the other and see where it's at. Because good thing Fantasy Flight doesn't really pump out product too quickly. So we can kind of dabble in all of them and try to keep up a little bit. So stay tuned on the channel if you're interested in any of the other cooperative LCGs for Fantasy Flight games. We played a whole bunch of stuff from all of them. Check out the playlist section at the channel at youtube.com/Rob's Gaming Table. And you can see our past playthroughs there. And again, subscribe, turn on the notification bell if you want to see future live streams in this stuff. And if you want to see more Lord of the Rings, make sure you hit that like button. Helps other people find these videos on the channel. And then brings more viewers. And the more people are watching specific ones too, is like, it definitely does sway me. Like if, I'm staring at a new Marvel Champions products, new Lord of the Rings products, new Arkham stuff, or stuff we haven't played, and I'm deciding like, which one are we going to start playing now?
Yeah.
I kind of go look at the last few videos of each game and kind of see like, were people caring about that game anymore? Were they watching it? Do they want to watch it on our channel or not? And then I'll just kind of focus on that one. So that helps. But yes, tomorrow is Friday, right?
Yep.
So tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, I will be back in Rob's Cafe. We'll be talking about this FFG post, and we'll be talking about the Star Wars Outer Rim expansion news that came out today. We'll be talking about some of the crowdfunding campaigns that popped on Kickstarter and GameFound this week, as we did in the last one. And just random chat and stuff. It's kind of like a little Q&A. It's coffee, crowdfunding, and conversation. We just sit there and chill. I probably have around 2 to 3 hours I can do that for before jumping into Gloomhaven Digital, as we do on Fridays. And then join us on Sunday. We'll be playing Nemesis, 4-player, having some fun, trying to figure out who we can trust, trying to survive on a spaceship, trying to make it go to Earth, possibly. Basically playing Aliens, the movie, in a board game. Survival horror game in space. Join us on Sunday for that. Super cool. And yeah, check out more stuff on the channel going forward. Viljusik, I'm probably not saying that right. Thank you so much for subscribing.
Welcome. Thank you.
Anyways, enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see you in the next stream. Bye-bye.
Bye.